All right, joined now by Brando LaRue. Brando, just got to start with the home run. I mean, your first game here at Christie Pitts as a Maple Leaf. Like, how good did that feel?
It felt great, because all I want to do is try and help the team out. And, I just got my pitch and I just barreled it up and hit a 3-run homer right there to help the team out.
When you were playing on the Guelph Royals, obviously you came here to Christie Pitts. Like, what's it like now being on the other side of things here at the Pitts and having the fans on your side?
It's a little different, because the people on the berm, you can hear them, yelling at you when you're on the other team. But now them cheering you on, it's amazing.
Playing shortstop here at Christie Pitts is not easy, man. You did a good job of it today. Tell me about playing on the infield and maybe just what it's like with your double play partner in Jordan Mandela.
It feels great. 'Cause we got that, that communication. He knows that I'll be there ready for him. He'll be there ready for me. So it feels great. It's a tricky infield, but you just got to read the hops and try and make a play by yourself, and not let it eat you up.
You would have faced Johannes Alvarado on the other side of things many times. Now you're behind him. He had a great start today. Can you just kind of tell me about what you were seeing from the shortstop side of things when you're watching him?
It feels great. It feels great. There's a lot of movement in his fastball, knowing because I face him. But seeing it from behind, you could just see it. It's just amazing, helping him out and playing behind him and helping the team out win. It just feels amazing.
I know you came to this team a couple of days ago, but I know, man, they've been hungry for a win. Like, when you went into the locker room briefly, like, the energy's got to be pretty good in there.
Oh yeah, it's really great, really great. Everybody's excited and ready to go. Just more wins to come.
So some of the best defense we've seen from you guys all season today. What were you and Mandalay and Ross working on pre-game to sort of get that going?
We don't do much in pregame. We just, warm up, practice together. Everybody, they do their own things. They take ground balls, I take my ground balls. Just taking the reps serious, and because if you don't, you're gonna let the ball eat you up. If not, take it like a game situation, and you'll be good.
So you obviously had that big 3-run homer. That was a big difference maker for us. What was going on through your head during that?
For me, it was just because the recent at bat before that, people on scoring position, I couldn't help them score a run, so I just wanted to go out there. I'm like, just breathe, relax, and see your pitch and help them out.
Cool, thanks.
Thank you.
Brando.
Thank you.
All right, joined now by Brian Sewell from the Toronto Maple Leafs. Brian, I mean, if there was ever a game that you guys needed to win, it felt like it was today. Like, did this feel like a must-win game for you guys?
It's been a long time coming. Yeah, we've been waiting for this too. Everything came together today. Willie shoved. Brando LaRue made some crazy plays up the middle for us. Some of those double plays, that's what won us the game. It was a great game all around. Everybody contributed. It was great.
I was talking to Rob Butler before the game. He said that, Willie kind of earned this start today. He's pitched really well in relief, and, he got the ball today. Was this kind of expecting how you're expecting things were going to go today for Alvarado?
Yeah, we talked about it before the game. I said, the boys need a win today, and he's like, we're going to win. So he knew when we were going out there. He looked good in the pen today. He looked great in the game. That's what we needed.
Man, once again, you were out on the field a lot today, getting battling for your guys, arguing calls. Like, can you just kind of tell me what was kind of the heat level down there on the field throughout the game? Because I know there was a lot going on from both sides.
Well, I could hear the London bench talking a lot, but they were just getting the calls right, and we appreciate that, right? Like, that's what they should be doing, is getting the calls right. So they did. I thought they did a great job. So I thought that they were correct on all the calls they made as well. So,
can you kind of tell me the process? So, that play at first base right away with Yasiel Puig, like, you see him right away start arguing with the umpire. Like, I'm assuming your job right there is like to step in to make sure, you're kind of like that median voice in between. Like, what was kind of the process of kind of how that goes down?
Oh, yeah. I said, don't worry, I got it. I saw that the home plate umpire had come up the line too, so he saw it. It was a better angle for the home plate umpire on that tag than it was for the first base umpire. And they talked about it, and they got the call right because he missed him by quite a bit.
I imagine as a coach, defense is something that you just love to see. Man, it was so good today with LaRue at short, and just the infield defense from the Leafs and helping out the pitcher. Like, how much was a relief just to get that, and how much do you think that factored into the win today?
Well, it was a relief. It was nice to watch too. Those were some big league plays those guys made. Those double plays. Spencer was solid at third base. Our infield is like shut down. So it was great to see. Everybody was firing on all cylinders today.
I know we saw another huge throw from Yasiel Puig, the cutoff with the route to get a guy at third base. You've played in this league. You've seen people in this league a long time. Like, where does the arm strength from Puig kind of rank in what you've seen over the years in this league?
He was an MVP candidate in Major League Baseball. He's still got a cannon. He can obviously still hit. It's kind of cool. So, yeah.
No.
Just talking a little bit about Alvarado. He had a couple of rough starts earlier this year. Then he had that really great relief outing last week, and then pitched really well today.
Yeah.
What kind of adjustments were you guys working on?
I think he's just getting his velocity up too, right? At the beginning of the year, they're all on pitch counts, right? It's a little bit difficult. This mound is very difficult for pitchers as well. He's mostly pitched at home, so it takes getting used to this mound. I think Florentino was trying to settle into this mound at the beginning of the game. Even guys like Garces were having trouble first, second inning we played them, and he's an elite pitcher. It's a tough mound to pitch off of, but he's figured it out. So.
Also with Puig, when we talked to him after the opening day win, he had sort of mentioned that he was trying to earn his place as a leader in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
I've noticed him being a lot more vocal out on the diamond today.
Yeah.
What can you kind of take away from that? What's he like behind?
Oh, he's been great. He's a huge leader on the team. He picking up the bucket and dumping it on Alvarado's head after the game today. As you can see, I got confetti all over my hat from the locker room. They're having a party in there, right? It's great to see. Everybody's happy, and he's been a great leader and a great addition to the team. So.
All right, cool. Thank you.
No, of course.
Thanks, bud. Oh, welcome to Dominico Field. Thomas West here alongside Zach Benoit. Tonight, the Toronto Maple Leafs and Guelph Royals, a rematch of a game that was a week ago. And Zach, obviously the Maple Leafs looking for some redemption, but let's start off with last game because this is a Maple Leaf team that had lost 7 games in a row. They really needed a victory, Zach, and you can tell that victory did a lot for this team's confidence.
Well, yeah, up and down the lineup last game, it was a full team effort against a really hot London Majors team, and it all started with the pitching. Johannes Alvarado going 6 innings, only giving up 1 run, 3 strikeouts to 1 walk, and then DePaula came in, did a terrific job. Florentino did a great job. The biggest thing for me was the defense. The defense looked stellar, especially up the middle. You had Brando LaRue making big plays at short, and you had Jordan Mandalay kind of manning the middle, and it looked very good. It looked like a cleaner brand of baseball from the Maple Leafs, and they got big contributions on the offensive side, especially by Brando LaRue.
Kind of felt like this season there was some talk about Yasiel Puig and the numbers kind of being down for him to start the year. We sit here on June 10th, not very many games into this season, and Yasiel Puig is hitting .310. He's top 10 in the league in home runs. He's got 3 of them. He's hitting the ball really hard. He's taking a leadership role in this team. And here's the crazy thing, Zach. If you took just his stats of him playing here in Toronto, he'd be a .429 hitter on the season. Zach, listen to this. He hasn't got a single hit on the road. He loves playing here at Christie Pitts. Is it the small ballpark maybe that really suits Yasiel Puig? And, you know, how impressive has it been watching him play here at the Pitts?
Well, it's been terrific. He's, again, one of the better players we've seen come across the CBL, and he's showing why, especially here at home. The dominance, it speaks for itself when you see the 3 home runs, the 5 RBIs. I think the biggest thing on the road for him, it's something that Rob Butler said about Puig, was that it's an adjustment period, getting used to, you know, the umpires here, the pitchers here in this league. It is vastly different than what he saw in the major leagues, and I think, you know, that away stats kind of really shows that he needs to figure out everything here in the CBL. But once he does, I think he'll have even more success than he already has.
Well, it's funny you bring up that conversation with Rob Butler because we're going to hear that from him right now. This is my conversation with him on Sunday about Yasiel Puig.
He's been great. You know, he's been leading the team. He talks a lot. He tries to pump the guys up. He tries to give them lots of information that, you know, he's got. But, you know, there's something about playing Christie Pitts and something about playing in this league that's a little bit different. There is something different about it. You do have to kind of grind it out and come to play. It's a different field than playing in regular professional parks. It's different, right? You got to really bear down and keep your focus, and because you can suddenly be an 0-for-5 with 3 strikeouts, right? And you're like, well, how the hell did that guy get me out, right? You don't want that to happen to him. So, you know, we remind him just to stay focused and try to prepare the same way he would for a professional game. And if he keeps doing that, I mean, he's going to lead us to a lot of wins this year.
I look at what he's done on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, it must be nice as a coach to be able to put him out in the outfield and know that everything hit his way is going to get scooped up, and he might throw someone out at the plate as well.
Yeah, no, he's a good outfielder, good defender. I mean, his body is a little bit older than what it used to be. It does look a little Rob Butler, 56-year-old stiffish, but but he's doing a great job. And you know what? He's having fun here, and he's getting used to the, you know, to our team and the way things work in the CBL. So it's you know, hopefully better things are going to come. His average will come up once he gets used to the umpires as well. It's a challenge, right? He's used to having a strike zone that's probably the size of a wallet, and now it's as big as a school bus. So it's different, and you got to. You know, me and Rich learned that. We came to the league from the pros, right? There's no favors. The zone's actually bigger than actually probably bigger than some guys, right? So you learn how to adapt and play through that, and he will, because he can hit the ball that's out of the strike zone, no problem. So I think he'll start doing that more, and he'll go for my record, 488, I think.
Rob, I think there's a lot of people who still think that you look like you can play as well. Yasiel's looking all right as well. Thanks so much for taking the time. Good luck today.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for the compliment.
The 2-2. This one's hit in the air towards left field. It's got some carry. Back to the wall. And it is gone. And he hits one in the air. And this time, there's no doubt about it. Now a guy with some more power, Malik Williams, takes this one to the opposite field. Back goes Yasiel Puig at the wall, makes the catch. And that will end the inning. Now delivers the 2-2 pitch. And Puig rips one on a line to left. And that one's down and will go to the wall. Yasiel Puig making the turn. Here's the throw to second base. In time, Puig with a swim move, and he's safe! Oh, he got around the tag! Electric stuff from Yasiel Puig at second base. The full count pitch. Slash down the left field line. Puig has it. He's got a cannon. Here's the throw to the plate. On time, and he's out by a mile. The 3-1 pitch, and Puig hits it high and deep to left field, and that one's gone. He left one in the middle of the plate, and Yasiel Puig destroyed it. And now this one's ripped into the outfield. Puig over, and it goes off the wall. Yasiel Puig will pick it up. Here's the throw into the infield. Puig's got a cannon. The relay, and they got him. So, Zach, I mean, the production from Yasiel Puig is really picking up, and we're just starting to see how much Puig cares about winning and trying to get to the playoffs and winning a championship here in Toronto. And we're starting to see that leadership qualities bleed through. You know, it was funny because, you know, one of our reporters, Noam Streifer, on the first game of the season, we went down and did an interview, and he asked Yasiel Puig, you know, tell me about, you know, the leadership that you bring to this team after being a major league player. And Yasiel basically shot down the question. He said, not yet. I haven't had enough time. Now we've seen him play some games, get a feel for this team, and now we're seeing his leadership really start to bleed through.
And I think the more conversations that you have with the other players on the team, the first thing that comes out of the mouth when they hear the name Puig is just the leadership that he brings, and, you know, the kind of stuff that they can learn from him. We talked with Dennis DeBanning. He said it's like playing with an idol that he used to grow up watching, saying he's learning so much from Puig. A bunch of other outfielders saying the same. I talked with Ben Starrett. He had the exact same words. We even talked with J.J. Dutton, and his big thing was you just learned so much from him. And Yasiel, he's taken that role of being a leader, being a mentor, and I think the players are actually starting to buy into that more, and Puig is starting to buy into it more himself.
So one of the more tangible things that we saw about Yasiel Puig was something that happened last game. So this happened with Dennis DeBanning and J.J. Dutton, and we're going to see from him in a moment. But, Zach, how cool was it to see Yasiel Puig on base, like directing traffic? And what I mean by that was telling the hitters, hit the ball this way. He saw something in Pimentel when he was pitching, and he said, you know, hit the ball the other way. And then J.J. Dutton came up to the plate, took his advice, hit the ball the other way. Like, that's just something you don't see very often.
And it's just somebody that's been playing the game for so long in Puig. He understands situations, understands how the fielders are setting up, and he's saying, this is where you want to hit it, this is where we can guarantee ourselves a run, and J.J. Dutton, he executed to perfection.
Let's hear from J.J. now. We caught up with him moments ago. All right, joined now by J.J. Dutton. J.J., you know, I just think back to last game, getting that win against London. You know, you came in with a losing streak, and I heard the vibes in the locker room just got so much better after that win. Just, you know, tell me how big that win was for you guys, just on a mental level.
That's just a big momentum center right now. Like, we needed that win. We played great baseball all around in that game. We got to keep doing that. Pour it on to today. And yeah, after that game, we celebrate a little bit in the locker room, but we're back to it. Let's get to work now.
I was talking to Brian Sewell after the game, and I just remember a specific moment in that game because Yasiel Puig was on base, and it kind of looked like he was telling you guys to hit the ball the other way, and then you come up and hit the ball the other way right through the infield. Can you just kind of tell me about that moment? And was that true? Was that what he was telling you to do?
Yeah, I remember I'll come up to bat. Yasiel was on second. He was looking right at me, telling me, look, Oppo. Because that's my bread and butter, Oppo. I've been looking there all day.
What's it been like playing with a guy who played in the majors? Like, you play with some really high caliber players playing in college, but like, a guy like him's a little different. What's that been like for you?
Man, you're learning. He's also an outfielder too. Plays my position. I'm learning so much. He's teaching me things every single day.
Just coming in from college, I know you've done this before. It was a couple of years ago. We were playing college, and then you come here, play with the Leafs. Like, how much different is it playing here in the Canadian Baseball League? Because it's pro baseball now, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're doing that for the first time as well. What's it kind of been like playing between the two leagues?
It's different now because at my school I was the older one. Now I'm here playing with older guys, right? So I'm one of the youngsters. I'm a rookie now, right? So it's really different playing with older men, right?
And when you were playing in this league last time, like it was a couple of years ago, like I know, I've been sitting up in the broadcast booth watching this league evolve. Like, how much different is it since you last played here in Toronto and now coming here and playing in the CBL? Like, have you noticed this league kind of evolving since the last time you were here?
Oh, big time. The competition's a lot better. By the way, completely new team than when I was like 3 years ago when I was here. And just like what's in the stadium too, everything's just like cleaner. Everything, just like the atmosphere is it's packed. Yasiel brings out the crowd.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
JJ.
It's awesome playing against those, like, in front of those crowds, right? So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
JJ, I know this is a big game as well, too, because you guys would love to string a couple of wins together. You guys lost last time out against Guelph. Is this kind of a redemption game for you guys? And, how big would a win today be just to keep the momentum going?
Oh, it'll be massive. Like, I know we lost against Guelph last week. We just got to keep that. We were up 7-0 and then ended up blowing it. We just got to keep our foot on the gas pedal this time. We know we can beat them. We just got to play our ball like what we played on Sunday. And we'll come out with a victory.
JJ, thanks for this. Good luck tonight.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Here's the 2-2, swing and a miss. Matt Brandt's throw down is not in time. The 3-2. Whittle hits a high chopper on the ground. Nice pick by LaRue. Mandalay to first, double play. The 0-2, hard hit ground ball. Mandalay has it, goes to a knee, flips to LaRue, on to first, and the mistake is erased on the infield for the Maple Leafs. Mandalay and LaRue, that's a dynamic duo up the middle. Oh, welcome to Dominico Field. Thomas West here alongside Zach Benoit. Tonight, the Toronto Maple Leafs take on the Guelph Royals, a chance for redemption and a new face on the mound for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Cam Demigian has come over to the team today. He is an import player from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Zach, someone this team is very excited about.
Yeah, you can see his 2026 numbers for Demigian. 11 games, 57 innings pitched, a 3.16 ERA and 61 strikeouts. He gets good extension down the mound, does the lefty, and it's going to be interesting to see him in his CBL debut. I know, you got a chance to talk with him pregame as he was just coming to Christie Pitts, and from what you were saying, he seems like a very nice guy, very open, and very excited to be pitching here for the Maple Leafs.
He is very excited. We heard Rob Butler talk about Yasiel Puig and how he had to adjust to the Canadian Baseball League. There will be an adjustment for Demigian as well. As we take a look at the lineup for the Guelph Royals, Ryan Dos Santos is leading things off. Anthony Gilbert is playing shortstop and batting second. Then it's Connor Morrow at third base. Garrett Takamatsu, who the Maple Leafs intentionally walked twice last game. He's the DH today, and boy, can he ever hit here at Christie Pitts. Victor Mascai, he made his debut for Guelph. He's a Brazilian. That was last time the Maple Leafs played this team last week on Wednesday. Homered, so he'll be looking to do damage here at Christie Pitts as well. Miguel Geraldo, always dangerous in the lineup, is at second base. Then the bottom three in the order, center fielder J.D. Williams, the catcher Matthew Ward, and Davies Nadal is the right fielder and batting ninth. And Guelph, they've been hot of late. They had a very slow start to the season, as did the Maple Leafs. They are playing a lot better baseball lately, and for Demigian, this will be a challenge for him.
Well, definitely. This Guelph Royals team, they started 0-5, and now they have a record of 4-6. They're winners of 4 of their last 5 games. They're playing a lot better brand of baseball, and it really kind of stems from their pitching staff. That was kind of the struggle going on early season, but the pitchers have really honed it in. The offense, it's been there all season long, and with the addition of Connor Morrow back in the lineup, a guy who's kind of in and out of the lineup when I talked with Ryan Eakins about it, he's just having him back in the lineup for Guelph. It's a big impact, especially with what he did at home 2 weeks ago, hitting a 2-run homer in the number 3 spot.
Cam Demigian will come in with a fastball, a changeup, and a slider. That fastball will sit 88 to 91 miles an hour. That's what he tops out at. Good velocity for the Canadian Baseball League. He'll face Ryan Dos Santos to lead things off here against the Guelph Royals. Just to get back on that point about adjustments, there's adjustments for hitters with, Puig we were talking about with the strike zone and having to adapt to a bigger strike zone here in the Canadian Baseball League. Well, this mound is not the same as every mound in all the different ballparks, and I'm sure many of the parks that Demigian has played in as well. So we'll see if he can adapt to that as he gets his first pitch here against Dos Santos, and it's a fastball upstairs, ball 1.
And it was funny, so I mentioned the conversation you had with Demigian when he arrived here. That was one of the big points that you said you told him about, was the difference of this mound.
It is very high. He scouted it out as well and noted that it's high, but you're not coming down a lot on the mound. It's high and pretty flat. 1-1 now on Dos Santos. And he takes a strike on the outside corner.
Coming into this ball game, Dos Santos, one of 3 players that have appeared in all 10 games so far, batting .333, tied with Takamatsu for most hits on the team.
There's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Demigian strikes out Ryan Dos Santos. Good start to his Canadian Baseball League career here with the Maple Leafs.
Again, you mentioned that fastball that he can ride up to as high as 91, but you can't forget about that off-speed pitch that he brings as well to those lefties, and it was on display perfectly right there.
Anthony Gilbert is a recent acquisition of this Guelph team. They signed him 5 days ago. He's played in a couple of games. Here's the first pitch to him, swung on and missed. The lefty Demigian with a changeup on the outside corner.
Yeah, Gilbert, a Quebec native, played for the Campbellville University Tigers in the NAIA.
Here's the 0-1, and that one's chopped foul towards third. Also spent some time in the WCBL, as we've seen many players in the Canadian Baseball League, some time with the Brooks Bombers, the Sylvan Lake Gulls as well. Maple Leaf player Nick Veselinovic played on that Sylvan Lake team in 2025 as well with him. Here's the 0-2. Line drive, down the line, fair ball. This one's going to roll into the corner. Gilbert on his horse. Puig picks it up and throws it in. And Anthony Gilbert has himself a 1-out double here for Guelph. That's the first hit of the ball game.
Well, you mentioned he played in the WCBL. He was also the batting title champion in 2024 with an average of .412 while racking up 13 home runs. So his bat plays. I know the Royals were very excited when they were able to get him to sign. And he just adds, again, so much depth and length to this lineup.
Now here's the third baseman, Connor Morrow. Morrow takes the first pitch strike. Demigian looks pretty comfortable out there on the mound for the Maple Leafs early on.
In a rhythm, for sure. And I think the biggest thing was, he like we mentioned, he got a chance to check out the mound pre-game and just get used to it here at Dominico Field.
Here's the 0-1 pitch, low for a ball, 1-1. Maple Leafs have Spencer Ross at third base today. Brando LaRue is the shortstop. Jordan Mandalay at second. Matt Fabian at first. Same infield that they had on that win against London, and an infield defense which was just sensational in that game for the Maple Leafs. Here's the 1-1 to Morrow. Just low again.
Morrow's only appeared in 2 games, but in those 2 games, he's hitting a robust .625. He's 5 for 8 with a home run.
Marcus Connect is in left. Dennis DeBanning in center. Yasiel Puig in right. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Garrett Takamatsu waits on deck for the Guelph Royals. The 2-2 pitch. Hit on the ground. Demidzian knocks it down. Picks it up off the back of the mound. Throw to first. Not in time. Had a little bit of trouble picking that one up after he knocked down a rocket by Morrow. And it'll be first and third here, an infield single for Morrow. And now Rob Butler is out just to make sure that Demidzian is all right.
Yeah, I'm going to check on him. That was a rocket, like you mentioned, off the bat of Connor Morrow.
Excuse me, that was Brian Sewell that came to the mound. Just gave him a fist bump there. Looks like he said he was good to go. I think that hit him in the glove. Is that what you saw as well?
Yeah, it kind of sounded like it hit leather. He just kind of got stunned for a second, didn't know where the ball was. And again, the big drop-off that the mound has on the backside, that was kind of what threw him off, trying to make that play to first base. But also got to credit to Morrow, who's hustling right out of the box.
Yeah, he smelled base hit right away. It's tough to jump off the mound after a ball hits you. You got to find it. You got to pick it up cleanly. I did the same thing in our men's league game the other day where I overthrew Zach to first base trying to pick a ball up out of the grass.
We recovered.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. This one's hit on the ground, and that one's through into the outfield. The Guelph Royals will strike first here in the top of the first inning. Now a throw to third base, and Morrow is going to slide in there. It's an RBI single for Garrett Takamatsu, and Guelph has taken a 1-0 lead.
That's just very heads-up base running by Morrow. He gets around second, and he sees that Ross was going to his left trying to field that ball. LaRue was out on the fringe of the grass. Nobody covering third. Morrow, with his head up running, picks up his third base coach, and he's in there. So runners to the corner, same situation, just 1 run scored.
Garrett Takamatsu up his batting average to .424 now on the season with that single. Also picks up another RBI. First pitch to Maskai is in there for a strike.
That's his team-leading 14th hit of the year.
The 0-1 pitch. Garrett Takamatsu has kind of been plagued by injuries over the last couple seasons, but he just found a way to hit all the time. Garrett Takamatsu has in the DH spot today, and maybe one of the better DH is in all of the Canadian Baseball League. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Sky fouls it off. Garrett said he's feeling pretty good this year, and that's a dangerous sign for the Canadian Baseball League if you've got a healthy Garrett Takamatsu at the plate.
And I think the funny thing was to start the season, he was making contact with everything, but it wasn't for power. And, he's saying he's feeling great, he's feeling healthy, and he's hitting contact. It's scary to see once the full power comes out.
Guelph still threatening here in the first, 1 out. Maskai at the dish. The 1-2 pitch inside, and it nearly hit him. Had to duck out of the way of that one. Two and two now on the Brazilian first baseman. And he lifts one foul off to the left.
In the first game he played on June 3rd against the Maple Leafs, he was 2 for 6 with that mammoth home run that we talked about, but 3 at-bats resulted in a strikeout, and that was kind of the big thing about his bat is there's tons of power, but there is some strikeout potential.
Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball, strike 3 called. Nasty stuff there from Cam Demidzian as he finds the outside corner. And there's 2 away. That was a much-needed strikeout for the Maple Leafs lefty.
Really nothing Maskai could do in that situation. That's a perfect breaking ball in the outside half.
Miguel Geraldo has had a great start to his Guelph Royals career. He's batting .314 this season. First pitch, check swing, and it's a strike on the swing, says the home plate umpire.
Leads the team with 10 RBIs. He has been really just so good at getting runs in for this Royal squad.
The 0-1. Fouled off by Geraldo. Miguel Geraldo was 2 for 5 last game against the Maple Leafs on Wednesday night. Drove in a run. Struck out once. Demijian continues to throw strikes here in the first. The 0-2 to Geraldo, and it's low. Ball one.
So I was looking at the league leaders when it comes to RBI. Saw Geraldo at 10, and it kind of puts him in that top 10 range. Grayson Barrett of Chatham-Kent is just light years ahead of everybody else. 22 RBIs on the season already.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. And it's flared foul off to the left side or the right side, and that one will get up out of play. Man, Demijian just working ahead. He's given up a run, and Guelph has got a couple base runners, but you have to think this would be a formula for success if he can settle into this game. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Pitch in the dirt. Matt Brandt will put the tag on him, and that'll do it. Demijian gets 3 strikeouts in the first inning. Guelph gets 1 run and leads. We head to the bottom of the first inning here in Toronto. Well, back here at Christie Pitts, Liam Watt getting the start. This will be his first as a Guelph Royal, a highly touted prospect, and Zach, someone who they're hoping to lead them to a lot of success this season.
Yeah, he is a 22-year-old who joins the Royals after finishing his college seasons where he played in NCAA Division I, and the numbers kind of speak for itself. He went 8-2 with a 3.90 ERA in 10 starts for Dallas Baptist University, and you know the biggest talking point with him is that to do that in a D1 NCAA division, it is not easy, especially with all the players that are in there for their offensive prowess, and he shows a lot of dominance and has a great arm from the left side.
Spencer Ross leading things off, takes strike one. 2 years at Dallas Baptist playing for the Patriots. Spent a season playing for the Bristol State Liners in the Appalachian League, and also pitched for the Guelph Royals back in 2023 as a very young player. He would have been 20 years old at the time. Spencer Ross fouls that one off, and he's behind 0-2. So this will be a chance for the Royals to get a look at a guy who could be an up-and-coming MLB prospect in the most recent in the upcoming draft.
That was also just a big talking point when he was signed. You know, the front office for the Royals, they don't know how long they're going to have him for because of how good he actually is.
The 1-2, Ross fouls it off.
You know, Watt probably is hoping he's not here for that long, but the Royals, obviously, they would love to have him here for as long as they can.
Watt's got 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch, and Spencer Ross fouls it off. Emergency hack there.
Again, it's a guy that the league hasn't really seen yet, so you got to try to figure out his pitch mix, what he likes to do to certain hitters, and, well, Ross, he's the guinea pig. He's the first batter to face him here.
Here's the 1-2. Low. Good take by Spencer Ross. Liam Watt just confirming with the home plate umpire where that pitch missed. Ross was behind 0-2, now battling the 2-2 pitch, and he hits one on the ground to third, takes a tough hop. Long throw for Morrow, and an excellent play by the Guelph Royals defense to start the ball game.
The Royals defense has been an emphasis this season. Again, it started off really shaky in the first 5 games, but it has cleaned up nicely. And Connor Morrow, doesn't matter where you play him, he just shows the leather is perfect wherever. He was playing short in his season debut here at third today, makes a beautiful play.
That'll bring Matt Fabian hitting in the 2-hole today for the Maple Leafs. Fabian will check his swing and take strike 1. That's strike 1 called. Fabian followed by Yasiel Puig. Here's the 1-1. And that one's a called strike as well, 1-2. Matt Fabian hitting 143 this season, but a bat that the Maple Leafs expect will pick up as the season goes along. And he has the track record in this league to back that up as well.
I think he's still trying to find his role within this offense for the Maple Leafs. When you look at it, a guy that played again for the Brantford Red Sox, he was their big bat to get on base.
Now this time he pops it up. Maskai, the first baseman, drifts into fair territory and makes the catch. And that's the second out of the inning. We thought the Guelph Royals were going to be coming into this game playing back-to-back days. Their game last night was rained out. We were wondering if there was going to be some rain on the horizon, and kind of has all the makings of a thunderstormy kind of day, just with the high humidity and the scorching heat, but it is clear here at the pits. Here's Yasiel Puig, first pitch swing, and he fouls it off. And when he thinks he just missed one, you can always see him lick the bat. That's a classic Yasiel Puig thing to do. We saw it right there on that foul ball.
Well, how you know a hitter is on a pitch if the ball gets fouled straight back like it did just there? He just missed barrel.
Sometimes when you're seeing a new pitcher, you kind of take one to see the pitch. That time we got a pretty good idea of what you wanted and just missed it. Here's the 1-1. Puig takes up and away.
This is going to be an interesting battle between these two because you have a guy who's trying to make his name as an up-and-comer, then you have somebody who's established his name as a big power hitter at the highest level.
The 2-1. Yasiel takes low and does a bit of a shuffle there as he takes that pitch. Watt was pitching ahead, now faces maybe the most dangerous hitter in the league and falls behind Yasiel Puig. We've seen so many pitchers to start the season. Be careful with him. The 3-1 pitch up and away, ball 4. Didn't want anything to do with Yasiel in that at-bat after that big swing on the first pitch. So Puig will head down to first base, but the Maple Leafs are okay with this because Dennis DeBanning is second in the intercounty, or third, I guess, in the intercounty or in the Canadian Baseball League in home runs, with 4 on the season. So his job is to try and drive him in, and he's got tremendous power. The wind is kind of blowing in, but more out to left field. That would favor DeBanning.
Yeah, it's a 4-way tie for first right now. Four
Okay.
players having 5 home runs. DeBanning sitting there with 4. But the power numbers are there for DeBanning. He started the season off red hot. He's trying to continue that role here.
The 1-0, Dennis goes the other way and fouls it down the line. Little battle for that foul ball with some of the kids at the ballpark. Here's the 1-1 now to Dennis. Watt has gone inside and outside and now delivers high, ball 2.
Tried to pick that corner high and away.
A 2-1, and this one's lined into the outfield. That's a base hit for Dennis DeBanning. Puig will stop at second. And now he's going to head to third. He saw a bit of a bobble. He moves up 90 feet. Now Dennis DeBanning caught in a rundown. Throw back to first. And The ball gets away. Now Puig stays at third base. Boy, a lot happening there, and Yasiel hasn't gone back to the bag yet. Now time is called. Puig will head back to third base. Oh, man, Yasiel Puig making things happen. Dennis DeManning almost got caught trying to go to second base. Luckily, that ball was dropped at first by Maskai as he was trying to put the tag on. Catch your breath. Marcus Connect comes to the plate. There's still 2 on for the Maple Leafs. Puig standing on third.
And it would have been real interesting to see if Nadal out there in right field got the ball cleanly, because he has displayed that he has a rocket of an arm from right field. And Puig kind of stutter-stepped around second, saw Nadal take his time, and then took off.
Connect a high chopper. This one's to third. Morrow has it. Got to throw it down quickly, and it's in time to get Marcus Connect running down the line. Maple Leafs threaten with 2 outs, but do not score. It's Guelph with the 1-0 lead here in Toronto. Well, back here at Dominico Field, a 1-0 lead for the road team, the Guelph Royals, a team that's been really heating up of late. Taking on a Maple Leafs team that got their first win in 7 games last time out and have some rejuvenated hope, but would love to put 2 wins together in a row. A lot of strikes from Demidzian in his first inning of work. Now faces longtime CBL IBLer in J.D. Williams.
Guelph had a nice 3-game win streak going. They played London and lost that one 10-2. They then had to go and face Barrie right after that on Sunday, and they answered back nicely with a 7-2 victory. Again, 2 top teams that they're playing, and they were able to kind of continue to keep that hot streak alive even after London really dominated.
1-1, high chopper, Ross has it. Easy throw to first base. That was an easy Christie hop that time for Ross at third, and there's one away.
Saw last game for Spencer Ross. He tried to take a hop at third base, and it went right over his head. Was expecting it to be kind of a line shot to his left, and it took a wicked bounce and just jumped right over him.
Yeah, he dove for the ball, and it ended up actually being a little bit behind him and over his head. Nothing you can do on that one, but he will take a big one-hopper like that all day playing third base here. Matthew Ward takes ball 1.
Ward, one of 3 players that has appeared in every single game, and he's been the mainstay behind the dish for the Royals.
Well, we talked a lot about Victor Maskai last time Guelph was here, and he hit that big home run in the World Baseball Classic when he was representing Brazil. Well, Matt Ward actually represented Great Britain in the World Baseball Classic this year. He was the bullpen catcher for the team, which I'm sure was a very cool experience.
Well, he's bringing some of that kind of calmness and leadership mentality to this squad this year. 10 hits, which is 4th on the team, and 1 home run, 5 RBIs.
Ward will foul this one off.
Not to mention how good he is at just calling a game.
Just to keep it on the theme of catchers, A nice thing that Demidzian has the luxury of coming into this start is that he is familiar with his catcher in Matt Brandt. They played together for a year. Here's the 2-2, swung on and missed, strike 3. That's the 4th strikeout for Demidzian, as he has had the strikeout stuff working here tonight.
Number 2, Davis Nadal.
There's Davis Nadal, the number 9 hitter, 24-year-old out of the Dominican Republic. Takes a breaking ball from Demidzian. Demidzian snapped off a lot of good ones. That one was not. That one kind of slipped out of his hand, and now you could see him going back to the rosin bag on the back of the mound just to get a better grip on the ball.
Looked like he just kind of released a bit too early.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Soft liner, and it's over the head of Jordan Mandalay, who got up as high as he could to try and catch that baseball. It's a soft single for Nadal, and back to the top of the order now, and Ryan Dos Santos with 2 away here in the second.
Again, Nadal, one of the 3 players that has appeared in every single game, and he just kind of does his job day in and day out. It's fun to watch him play because of how much of a utility he is. He can play third base, shortstop, second. He's played the corner outfield.
Demidzian got his first CBL strikeout on Ryan Dos Santos in his last at-bat.
First time through the order, really outside of 3 hitters. It was pretty clean work for Demidzian.
Now this one's hit right back to Demidzian. Oh, he got some redemption. Now bounces one to first base, and it's picked up by Fabian. Almost spoke too soon there. He had a line drive right back to him before. Couldn't make the play. This time bounces it over to Fabian, who had lots of time to make sure that he got a handle on that one. Nice play by both first baseman and pitcher, and it's a pretty clean inning that time for Demidzian. See Fabian have a conversation with Rob Butler there. We'll take a quick break and be right back.
Everyone dreams of being great. Only a select few can be iconic. But only one is chosen. Introducing the Chosen One from Rawlings. The all-new one-piece composite iteration of the top-rated and established Icon BB Core bat.
J.J. Dutton leading things off for the Maple Leafs here in the bottom of the second inning. Watt got the first 2 outs quite promptly, and then Yasiel Puig walked. It was a single by Dennis DeBanning. Eventually he got out of the inning scoreless. Now he's into his second inning of work facing Dutton. And he hits one on the ground, and that one's going to be the first out of the inning as it's scooped up at second base.
The biggest question for this Royals infield was early on the play of Miguel Geraldo at second base. He was really struggling with the fielding, but the last couple of games he's got situated in the CBL. He looked a lot more comfortable at the position. You can kind of see it now. He finds a rhythm every time he's throwing the ball.
Jordan Mandalay has been a tough out this season. He's at the plate now for the Maple Leafs. And he takes upstairs.
Batting .333 coming into this one, and you mentioned it. He has been so good for this Toronto Maple Leafs team. 11 hits, which actually leads the team. He has 4 doubles, which also leads the squad.
High chopper up the middle. Gilbert's throw to first base is in time. Mandalay is retired, 2 away. Well, that's going to bring Brando LaRue to the dish, and what a Christy Pitts debut he had. It was his second game, but it was his first home game as a Maple Leaf last time out. Propelled the Maple Leafs to that win against London. Hit a 3-run home run. That was great, but in talking to the coaches after the game, it was the defense that they were really impressed with. As LaRue hits one on the ground, gobbled up by Geraldo. Throw to first, and how about that inning for Liam Watt? Quick and efficient against the Maple Leafs in the second. His team, the Guelph Royals, leading 1-0 here in Toronto.
What I look for in a Rawlings is a combination of things. Something that will kind of maintain for a long period of time. I've had a lot of success with Rawlings over the years.
What I like about my Rawlings glove is the feel. The feel is everything. It's good to get that feel in your hands, and when you have a Rowling, it's more easy to catch. Weight goes a long way, and I feel like Rawlings does a really good job of getting you top of the line leather.
As far as the leather, I usually stick to Pro Preferred.
I've actually always used Pro Preferred. I loved it from the start, so I'm kind of a guy, if I like something, I usually don't change it. So since the first day I signed with Rawlings, I've been using Pro Preferred.
What I like about my Rawlings glove is it's always felt the same. It never falls apart. It feels good every single day I put it on my hand, and it's a mark of a pro.
Well, back here at Dominico Field, third inning of work here for Cam Demigian. He'll face Anthony Gilbert, the shortstop. And his first pitch is in there for strike 1. Alex Nelson, our analytics guy, just stopped by the booth. They've got a radar gun behind home plate to track what pitchers are throwing. Demigian throwing 88 on his fastball today. This one a high chopper. Ross goes up to get it. Long throw to first. In time, he got him. Nice play by Spencer Ross at third. And that's the first out of the inning.
Ross did the right move there. He saw the big hop. He was going to try to take it on the short hop, but then decided to play it back a little bit. He had time, keeps his composure, makes a strong throw over to first base. You mentioned they now the velos of the pitchers. Do you know where they got the pocket radar from?
Where?
None other than Rob Butler. They had to hunt for one, and they asked Butler, and he said, well, I got one, but it just doesn't have batteries. So I think somebody went to the dollar store and got some AAA batteries.
That is a fixable problem. In the air to center field, and that one is caught by Dennis DeBanning. 2 away. Now here comes Garrett Takamatsu. He's responsible for the 1 run the Royals have scored in this one tonight. Had an RBI single in his last at-bat.
Really like how Demigian has answered back to this 2-3 in the lineup. Last time out was Gilbert punching a double down the right field line, and then Morrow getting one through the hole. And this time around, ground out and a fly out.
Garrett Takamatsu takes the first 2 pitches. They're both balls. The 2-0 pitch, swung on and missed.
He has very good deception in his pitches. I think that's one of the most intriguing things for this Maple Leafs team is seeing a guy who can, change up the eye level of a hitter and work really all three quadrants beautifully.
On the ground, Demidzian lets it go. LaRue on to first. That's a nifty play there. Two new teammates. Demidzian trusting his shortstop to make that play. Gets through a very quick, 6 pitches for Cam Demidzian that inning. That was a quick third all the way around. We head to the fourth here at Christie Pitts. Matt Brandt leading things off for the Maple Leafs, facing Liam Watt. That was a quick inning by both pitchers back in the third, so Watt's right back out there.
Don't know the actual number, but I think you were pretty close, and you said about 10 pitches combined between the two pitchers.
Yeah, it was about, I think it was 6 by Demidzian, 5 or 6. Most of them came to Takamatsu, got the first 2 pitches, or two outs on the first 2 pitches. It was also a very quick inning for Watt. Here's the 1-1. High chopper. And it's into center field, a base hit. Gilbert reached up for it, but it was over his head. That's a base hit for Matt Brandt, and the Maple Leafs have a runner on here in the fourth.
With how much Brandt topped that ball, I think it was guaranteed a hit no matter what. Credit to Gilbert for doing everything he could to get to the ball, but that one just took a big hop off the grass right over the head of Gilbert.
That's a great piece of hitting there by Matt Brandt. You always want to get on base for the top of the order here. Spencer Ross, followed by Matt Fabian, and then Yasiel Puig. First pitch to Ross, breaking ball for a strike from Watt. We also have a radar gun on Liam Watt. He's topping out at 89 miles an hour on the mound.
Super fun that we have that information now.
Yeah. Ground ball, this could be 2. Geraldo flips to Gilbert, on to first, double play. Big stretch by Victor Mascai at first base, but he was able to keep his foot on the bag. That's the first 2 outs of the inning now.
Again, second time through the order now, and Ross goes right after that first pitch. Would have liked to see him kind of challenge Watt a little bit more, take some pitches, work a count, but you're trying to get offense back quickly here. That's been the story for the Maple Leafs, is they want to get this offense rolling as soon as possible.
First pitch to Matt Fabian is inside, ball 1. This would be a good time for a nice little base hit. Sometimes you want extra base hits when there's 2 outs in the inning, but Puig's on deck. Fabian takes low. He walked in his last at-bat. Fabian's 0 for 1 today.
I like the construction of the top part of this lineup. You have 2 guys that have high contact ability hitting in front of Puig, somebody you want to get runners on base for. You're just kind of waiting for Fabian to turn things around here so far this season.
Yeah, and a couple hits that can really turn the batting average around. You know, the numbers are kind of low to start the season for Fabian, but just because he hasn't got a hit in his last 2 games, you can start turning things around quickly as he takes one in the dirt. Still very early in this season, but from a team perspective for the Maple Leafs, I mean, you can't have losing streaks very often just because only 5 teams have a shot at the playoffs this year. And that one hit Fabian. Looks like it got him right on the elbow guard, so he'll head down to first base. That will work for the Maple Leafs as the power of Puig comes to the plate with a man on base.
Situation like this is perfect for Puig. 1 runner on. You can't really walk him because DeBanning, again, had a really good at-bat last time out against Watt. So you kind of have to go after Puig here if you're Watt.
Yeah, and first base was open last time too, so you're not going to put a runner in scoring position. Puig hitting .310 on the season with 4 extra base hits. Puig takes upstairs, ball 1. Yasiel Puig has all of his hits this year here at Christie Pitts, none on the road. He'd be hitting .426 coming in today if he just counted the home games. Big swing from Puig, and he cut right through it. You know, when you're a guy like Watt who's hoping to be drafted into Major League Baseball this year, scouts might look at your at-bats and how you faced a guy like Yasiel Puig. Maybe a looking glass into the future, as this one is crushed to center field, but he got under it just a little bit. And that will end the inning. Yasiel Puig just missed one, looking for some of that center field power. Watt gets out of it. It's the Guelph Royals who lead 1-0 over Toronto. One nothing Guelph Royals here at Christie Pitts. Victor Maskai, the first baseman, leading things off. Demidzian back on the mound for the Maple Leafs. Had a 6-pitch inning last time out. First pitch to Maskai. Line drive to Hopper into the outfield. That's a base hit for the Royals to start off this 4th inning.
Maskai not fooled there. Sat off speed, it looked like, and he just punches it right back up the middle. Good piece of hitting by the first baseman for the Royals.
Now it's the second baseman, Miguel Geraldo. Maple Leafs led off with a base hit last inning as well after they got out pretty quickly. Now the Royals respond the same way. Geraldo fouls the first pitch off. Royals' lone RBI came on a Garrett Takamatsu single. The 0-1 pitch, line drive into the outfield, and that one's down for a base hit. Maskai is going to hold up at second base. Zach, second time through the order. This Royals offense is starting to see Demidzian a little better.
They're really sitting on the off speed right now by Demidzian, and it's been the 2 big bats in the middle of the order, 5-6, Geraldo and Maskai. You just punch it right back up the middle.
Might be time to use the fastball a little bit more here. He has got a good one. We already know that it's up at 88 miles per hour right now. He's topped out at 91. Here's J.D. Williams. He fouls that pitch off.
This is a guy that the Royals really want to get the bat going. J.D. Williams batting .77.
Career 307 hitter in the Intercounty Baseball League in the past. The 0-1 pitch, that one misses, 1-1. Last season he hit .276 last year, but had 23 RBIs. A homer and 8 doubles helped that out. The 1-1. That one just misses as well.
Midgian, he's really trying to pick this outside corner. He's just not getting it. That's 2 back-to-back pitches that looked good, but they were just missing away.
The 3-1. Swing and a miss, and it was such a hefty swing from Williams on the 3-1 pitch that his elbow guard came flying off, so he calls time, and he'll get that strapped back up.
If you're Demidzian, this is the guy you want to go after in this inning. First 2 reach. If you can induce a ground ball here, that would be massive.
It'll be interesting to see where he goes now. Demidzian crossed up J.D. Williams on that 3-1 breaking ball. Pitch he's had confidence in today. The 3-2 fouled off. This is a really big pitch coming up here again for Demidzian. 2-1. Nobody out here in the 4th. This is an at-bat that could really change the tide of this game. Another 3-2. And Williams takes inside ball 4. And just like that, the complexion of this inning looks a bit sour for the Maple Leafs. Bases loaded, nobody out. And Guelph already leading 1-0.
Well, the backstop Matthew Ward will come up with the bases loaded, and he's had some big moments already this season for Guelph. He had a home run. That was a massive turning point for them in that game against the Baycats.
Ward's been a real good player, one of the better catchers in the Canadian Baseball League this season. Proved that as an all-star last year in the Intercounty Baseball League. Bases loaded, nobody out. Ward hits one in the air. This one's to center field. Dennis DeBannon going back. He has room. He makes the catch. That's going to bring a run home. It's a sacrifice fly and an RBI for Matt Ward, and it's 2-0 Guelph Royals.
Talk about getting a job done. That's exactly what Ward does right there. He's swinging first pitch. You see the conversation. That's a catcher that understands the situation. He sees that Brandt goes out to talk to his starting pitcher, knows that it's most likely going to be a first pitch fastball, sits it, he gets it, and he lifts it for a perfect sac fly.
Good job by Dennis DeBanning as well to make sure that runner at second wasn't able to tag up and go to third. He knew there was going to be no play at home plate. Matt Ward's been producing. That's 4 RBIs from in his last 4 games. Had one last time out as well.
Another big at-bat here with the number 9 hitter coming up.
Yeah, and Ryan Dos Santos looming on deck. Davis Tunnell hitting .243 on the season. The 0-1 from Demidzian. Breaking ball just missed. He's loved that pitch today.
He snapped off a couple really good pitches so far, but it just seems this inning he's lost a little bit of control with the breaking ball, but I like the fact that he's not straying away from it. He's trying to get it back here.
The 1-1. In the dirt. falls behind 2-1 now. Demigian has thrown 56 pitches in this outing. This inning is starting to get a little long, and he's still got some work to do. 38 of those pitches have been strikes from Demigian. So safe to say he has been pounding the strike zone. The 2-1. Popped up on the infield. Maple Leafs would love this to stay in play. Matt Brandt goes over. He's in the corner behind the fence. Makes the catch for the out. And now the runner tags and goes to third. The Maple Leafs are now thinking about throwing that ball to second base to see if he left early, but I think the Maple Leafs infield just wasn't expecting him to tag up there.
That's just a very heads-up play by Miguel Geraldo. He noticed Fabian made the catch and kind of just looked down and tossed it back to Mandalay without any urgency, and Geraldo head down all the way to third.
Well, now we'll see if that makes a difference here for the Maple Leafs. Ryan Dos Santos at the plate. Runner goes. Dos Santos takes. No throw down to second base. That's a stolen base for J.D. Williams, but I don't think the Maple Leafs had much intention of throwing that ball down. Matt Brandt was just trying to fake it and see if he could get some action at third from the runner there. And probably not going to happen after that kind of heads-up play, though. Obviously, as this one's in the dirt, blocked by Fabian. That's a big block. That saved a run.
Seems sole focus right now for Demigian is just attack the batter at hand. Again, top of the order coming around for the third time. They've seen him twice. This is a big at-bat, possible big turning point in this ballgame.
The 1-1. Line drive into the outfield. Marcus Connect in his tracks makes the catch. Oh boy, Ryan Dos Santos hit it hard, but right at Marcus Connect, who makes a big out there for the Maple Leafs. 2 in scoring position, stranded. 1 run comes in on the sacrifice fly by the catcher, Matt Ward. It's 2-0 Guelph Royals here in Toronto. Well, we've had a great battle of 2 NCAA pitchers today here at Christie Pitts. It's Watt on the mound for the Royals. It's Demigian on the mound for the Maple Leafs, 2 guys who have spent time in the NCAA's Division I. Dennis DeBanning is leading things off here.
It's always a fun time seeing a really good pitching matchup here in a CBL game.
And it's funny, too, because both pitchers are debuting for their team, both young guys, right at the beginning of their, what they hope to be long careers, wherever they end up.
I really like this out of Watt. you can kind of see Devannon called time, try to throw him off his rhythm, but he's staying in that motion, in that rhythm, not to get out of it.
And he gets a swing and a miss from Dennis Devannon. That's a gutsy punch out there from Watt. That kind of seemed like Trey Savage in the playoffs. Remember on that one at bat against the New York Yankees where time was called at home plate and he just stayed in his rhythm on the mound, didn't want to step off.
Pitchers are creatures of habit.
Marcus Connect will take outside. You kind of throw the rhythm of the batter off when you do that too, because as soon as the batter gets set and is looking out, you can just throw that pitch.
Yeah.
The 1-0 to Connect, fouled off at home plate.
I want to play a game with you here, partner. Do you notice anything different about Marcus Connect?
Don't think he ever wears an elbow guard. So I don't think it's that.
Nope.
Is it his belt?
No, sir.
Okay.
You got this.
Different about Marcus Connect.
I will say, I didn't notice it. It was good old Gus Cousins that gave me the hint.
Don't tell me yet. We should let the chat have a chance to see if they can find out as well. I'm going to keep looking, though. Here's the 1-2. And Connect flares this one in the air. This one's to right center field, and the catch is made. And that's out number 2.
I believe you'll figure it out.
Did he have the do-rag on?
Nope.
Is that different? Because he usually has that on.
It wasn't on today. A difference from what his first at-bat to his second at-bat. I'm really impressed that you noticed that.
Okay, well, if it's hard, then
No, it's not. It's actually very noticeable.
0-1 to J.J. Dutton is low in the dirt.
Do you want to know?
Nope.
Alrighty.
1-1 is swung on and missed by Dutton. Now behind in the count 1-2. Watt a pitch away from getting out of another clean inning. The 1-2 pitch. Dutton takes just upstairs. Just 2 hits for the Maple Leafs today against Liam Watt. The 2-2 to Dutton, swung on and foul tipped at home plate. JJ was out in front, but he just got a piece of it. Dutton continuing to battle here against Watt. These are some big pitches that he's making Watt throw. He's been extremely efficient to this point. And that one's upstairs. Good take from JJ.
Dutton is a really fun player to watch, a guy who kind of gives it his all every time he's out there on the field.
3-2, fouled off at home plate.
Kind of seems like he does everything at 110%. You know, when he's running, I kind of coined the phrase for him that he runs like he's angry at the ground.
Mm-hmm.
But even when he's fielding, goes after the ball very hard. Throw back is always aggressive.
This is a 7-pitch at bat here from J.J. Dutton against Watt. The 3-2, fouled off. He's gonna end up having a 9-pitch at bat here against Watt at least.
And again, Watt just not breaking stride. He's in a rhythm. He has a motion that he likes, and he's sticking to it.
Another 3-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Liam Watt will win the battle as he gets through 4 scoreless innings against the Maple Leafs. It's the Royals who lead 4-0 here in Toronto. Another at bat for the shortstop, Anthony Gilbert, to lead things off here in the top of the fifth inning. Cam Demidzian has been cruising along, although he's allowed 2 runs. That's it. Both pitchers have been pretty solid today. Watt, though, has had the advantage. He's only allowed 2 hits to the Maple Leafs. Guelph has 6 through 4.
Been a very fun game to watch if you're a fan of pitching and defense, I would say. These 2 pitchers really putting on a clinic.
The 0-1 just fouled off the end of the bat by Gilbert at home plate. 43 pitches for Demidzian into the 5th. Actually, that's just wrong. Yeah, that's the website. Here's the 0-2. This one's hooked down the line, foul. Yeah, ignore the pitch count on the CBL website. That's probably from, 2 innings ago.
Yeah, threw a lot of pitches in the last half inning, or last inning of work, I should say.
The 0-2. In the air to center field, demanding long run, and it's off the wall. Gilbert around first, and he'll cruise into second with a stand-up double to lead off the 5th.
Again, Gilbert is really the only guy that's gotten hard contact in 2 out of the 3 at-bats. He led off this game with a shot down the right field line. This time he goes to right center field, where the ball is just perfectly tailing away from DeBanning, who is trying to get a read onto it.
I'll bring the number 3 hitter in Morrow to the dish. And this is another really good scenario for the Guelph Royals to tack on another run here against the Maple Leafs.
This was the part of the order that really got the party started in the first inning, and it was these 2 men that start things off here.
Morrow squaring to bunt. Took strike 1. Not sure if there's a lot of conviction behind that. Although Garrett Takamatsu is on deck, and he can hit a sac fly with the best of them if that's what the Royals are trying to do. Here's the 0-1. Strike taken at the knees, 0-2. Talked to Maple Leafs outfielder J.J. Dutton before the game, and he kind of pegged this as a redemption game. Noted that the Leafs haven't forgot that they had a 7-1 lead against this Royals team, ended up losing 14-7 in that game. Toronto would love to come back and get a win here tonight. Not often do you have a game that you would like back, and then the very next week, 7 days later, you get a chance to play them again. The Maple Leafs have that opportunity here.
A little bit of action going on in the Maple Leafs bullpen. Pops is starting to get loose over there.
Yo, 2 tomorrow. High chopper to third, foul. Spencer Ross will give it a look.
The ability that Connor Morrow has to just make contact is just so good for this squad.
That's Kyle Pops that you can see there. He's not really warming up right now, just kind of mulling around. Could be needed if Demidzian needs help getting out of this inning. Kyle Pops is a 2-way player for the Maple Leafs, so he could come into this game and in a bunch of different situations, but it looks like they're using him out of the pen in this one tonight.
Yeah, it looks like he's just kind of going pitch for pitch right now with Demidzian.
The 0-2 tomorrow. Line drive to center field, base hit. DeBanning picks it up in center, stop sign at third base. It'll be 1st and 3rd for the Royals here in the 5th. Anthony Gilbert froze to see if that ball was going to be caught by anyone on the infield. It was not, so that's why he was held at third base.
And again, Connor Morrow just having himself such a good start to the year. Limited appearances, but when he is in the lineup, he is making loud contact, what feels like every single time.
So Garrett Takamatsu, who's driven in one of the 2 runs for Guelph. Former Intercounty Baseball League MVP, Rookie of the Year. Runner goes, pitched low, and it's going to be a stolen base for Connor Morrow. 2 in scoring position now with nobody out.
Got the dangerous bats coming up. Takamatsu up to bat. Maskai on deck and Geraldo in the hole.
The 1-0 pitch in the dirt. This is going to take some magical pitching here from Demidzian to get through this inning scoreless.
They're just going to intentionally walk Takamatsu.
Something the Maple Leafs did twice last game, so that'll load the bases. I mean, top of the 5th inning, starting to get a bit later into this game. You never want to put runners on base, but I mean, the Maple Leafs have aspirations of getting out of this with as little damage as possible, so would love to set up a force at home plate. Here's Maskai, who has hit the ball on the ground today. You see the corners are in, so I think the play here is that if it's hit anywhere down the left field or right field line, they'll come home and then try and turn the double play that way. If it's up the middle, Brando LaRue and Jordan Mandalay will handle that and turn a double play and concede a run to the Royals. Another pitch low from Demidzian. Now you intentionally walk Garrett Takamatsu. You've fallen behind 0-2 on a dangerous hitter in Victor Maskai with nowhere to put him. And the likelihood of Maskai getting a pitch that he can handle increases here in this at-bat.
Again, Maskai, a guy that has so much power in that bat.
The 2-0 pitch, and he hits one well. Puig back at the wall, makes the catch. Long throw coming into the infield. It'll be a sac fly for Victor Maskai, and it's 3-0 Guelph Royals.
And again, the Royals just executing perfectly with less than 2 outs and a runner at third. Just get the ball in the air and you get the run coming across.
Rob Butler is coming out to the mound. And is this the end of the night for Demidzian? I believe the call has been made. So Demidzian, strong in his first outing for the Maple Leafs, does concede 3 runs to Guelph. 2 on base right now are his responsibility. Kyle Popp's coming in. He'll try and save some of those runs for his new pitcher in Demidzian.
Get ready, Chatham-Kent. For the first time ever in the new Canadian Baseball League era, the 2026 All-Star Showdown is landing at Fergie Jenkins Field on the July 11th and 12th weekend. The league's top talent all in one place. Watch the full slate of skills competitions, including the popular Home Run Derby on Saturday, and on Sunday, the ultimate 2026 CBL All-Star Game featuring your favorite players for a mid-season showdown. Chatham-Kent, it's our time. The All-Star Weekend of the new CBL era. It's history in the making.
So look at the Canadian Baseball League standings. It's the Barrie Baycats and London Majors who have been the class of the league so far this season. Guelph, who got off to a really slow start, is starting to work their way back up. And with a win today, they can be right there in contention for that final playoff spot. Maple Leafs have some work to do, but can ill afford to lose games. And you think about the stretch of games coming up where you have Guelph and you have Kitchener and you have Brantford are some of the upcoming games for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I mean, you don't have to win today against Guelph because you're going to get some, I guess you could say, easier games based on preseason predictions coming up. But a win today, man, that would go a long way. And for the Guelph Royals as well, if they win, I mean, that slow start to the season is pretty much fully erased and they're right back in it.
Yeah, they are right back in for that 5th and final playoff spot, and currently it's being held by Chatham-Kent with a 5-6 record. If Guelph are able to pull out the victory today, they tie that record, so things get really interesting.
Kyle pops into the game, and Geraldo hits one to center. This could cash in another run. It will. It's a sacrifice fly for Miguel Geraldo. Boy, the Guelph Royals are playing some small ball today. They lead 4-0. Zach, they have 3 sacrifice flies to drive those runs in.
That's what you got to do. You have runners in scoring position on third base, less than 2 outs. You're just executing perfectly. The Royals, I mean, this is a beautiful brand of baseball when you have a runner at third base.
So that run will go on the record of Cam Demigian, who has allowed 4 in 4 2/3 of work so far. Still that runner on first base in Takamatsu is on his card. Now Takamatsu is going to advance. That one kicks away from Matt Brandt. Pops is the one who comes over and collects it. Runner back in scoring position for the Guelph Royals.
Yeah, it took a wicked hop where it just kind of flew forward down that first baseline.
May take a relatively well-placed single by J.D. Williams to get Takamatsu home here from second. The 1-0. Slash down the line. Is this one going to stay fair? No, it bounces a couple feet into foul territory. That was hit well by J.D. Williams. Zach, you mentioned Williams kind of trying to, get things going at the plate right now. That's one of those ones where he'll be thinking, man, can I just catch a break? Get that ball to land in fair territory.
Again, a guy who's been so consistent over his career for the Guelph Royals. He's just trying to get that consistency here this year.
The 1-1, high chopper. LaRue waits for it, and it's going to kick off his glove and get into the outfield. That's that well-placed single that will end up scoring Garrett Takamatsu. It'll probably go down as an error, but either way, Guelph will take it. They've cashed in Takamatsu, who moved up on a wild pitch and came home on the error at short, and it's 5-0 Guelph.
Yeah, interesting what they're actually going to score that one there. But, again, they take it, do score it as a single. As LaRue, you just kind of have to pick a hop there. He elected to play it off the big hop, not expecting it to have a big kick, and the kick was just a little bit bigger than he was hoping for.
Now, that's the first error we've seen from LaRue here at the pits, and give him credit, he was sensational last game against London. Him and Mandalay were turning double plays like crazy. The Maple Leafs had 3 of them. It was that combination up the middle. He made a diving play up the middle, which is one of the better plays we've seen this year. So that is a rare error from the Maple Leafs shortstop. Not going to see a ton of that this year. But, I mean, that's just a play that you got to charge. So, put that in the back of his mind. Check that down for next time. Brando he's a really diligent player. I was talking to him about playing the infield at Christie Pitts, and he admitted, it is the hardest infield to play out of all the different leagues. But one of the things that helps him is stay diligent when you're taking the ground balls in warm-up. Like he said, take that seriously was something that he mentioned. And that's something that the Maple Leafs infield has been doing, whether it be Mandalay or Ross or Fabian, any of them. They play those ground balls before the game with quite a bit of intent.
And even that play, obviously LaRue is going to expect himself to make that. But
another runner going, and that's going to be another stolen base and a runner in scoring position for Guelph.
Williams just read that perfectly. He was off before Pops even started making his motion home. But just to the point for LaRue, that play right there, it's a chopper coming right at him. You elect to play it on the big hop, and obviously it's a split-second decision whether to take it on a short hop or the big one.
3-1 pitch blocked in the dirt. That's ball 4. Matt Ward didn't seem like he wanted to go down to first base there. He wanted to try and drive in that run, but it's another runner on base with 2 outs in the inning, and here's Davis Nadal. So Matt Ward draws the walk. Nadal, who's hitting .237 on the season, but 1 for 2 in this game, comes to the plate. Nadal takes strike 1. Dos Santos on deck, hopeful of an at-bat this inning. The 0-1 pitch up and in. Buzz the tower there on Nadal, and the count's 1-1.
Nadal, to start the season, he was so strong with the bat, swinging for power, extra bases. It's slowed down a little bit here.
Both runners go this time. Pitches in the dirt. A double steal. As Ward moves up to second, J.D. Williams steals third. They picked the perfect pitch to do it on the breaking ball in the dirt from Kyle Pops.
You mentioned it, the perfect pitch to go. It's a breaker that Brant just has to focus on blocking before anything.
A 2-1 to Nadal. In the dirt, 3-1. Pops falls behind another hitter, 3-1 here. Davis Nadal spent some time in the Pittsburgh Pirates system and then most recently in the Kansas City Royals system. And you mentioned he's shown off that power a bit this season for the Guelph Royals. Has a grand slam this year. 3-1 pitch. Called a strike. Bit of a late call there at home plate as Nadal had already started making his way down to first. Now he'll have to step back into the box and reset for a 3-2 pitch.
Yeah, he's a guy who's never going to get cheated with a pitch. When he's swinging full out every single time.
The 3-2 from Pops. Chopper on the ground. This one's gobbled up by Jordan Mandalay. Flips to first, and that will end the inning. Guelph picks up a couple of insurance runs here in the fifth. This time it'll be the Maple Leafs who need a big comeback against Guelph. That will start in the bottom of the fifth. Here's the bats for the Maple Leafs are coming up. Back here at Christie Pitts, Thomas West alongside Zach Benoit. Bottom of the fifth inning, 5-0 Guelph Royals. This is Jordan Mandalay squaring to bunt on the first pitch and takes a strike. And Mandalay tells the home plate umpire that he didn't think it was a strike after the call.
Well, if there was a player to kind of get the momentum going offensively, it is Mandalay. He has, again, high contact ability.
Slashes one down the line. Now he's behind 0-2.
Heads up. A couple fans walking down the left field side almost got plunked.
Yeah, those kids down the line there, they've been all over the. Look at that kid. His pockets are full of baseballs. He's collecting.
Was there a rule back in the day where you had to return them?
Yeah. This one's on the ground to third. Oh, that takes a wicked hop off the lip of the grass. That's a Christie single for Jordan Mandalay. Hey, put the ball in play on the infield. Good things can happen. Leadoff guys on here for the Maple Leafs.
Like I mentioned, you got to decide how you want to play the ball here because, again, you can never expect what's going to happen in Mandalay. He knows the field better than anybody else this year.
Poor Connor Morrow over there at third was in great position, and then it just took a wicked turn and a hop, and it was just way over his head. Absolutely nothing you could do on that one. So we saw LaRue get that crazy hop last inning, and that one even more of a wicked hop there on Morrow at third. Maple Leafs got to take advantage of this. Brando LaRue at the dish, takes inside for a ball. Remember, hit that 3-run home run that kind of sealed the deal against London. Maple Leafs needed some insurance at the time. You remember, didn't know if the bullpen was going to be able to hold it down. Here's the 2-0. And we were kind of figuring out who was available, and then we saw that DePaula and Florentino were coming to the pen last game, and if you're a Maple Leafs fan, you feel pretty good about that. It's been a couple days. You have to imagine that they would be in play again here today. Saw both of them at the park, getting their pregame stretching and running. Luis Florentino likes to do a couple laps around the ballpark, runs all the way down the warning track and back before every game. Here's the 2-2 to Brando, and he hits one up the middle, bouncing ball, flip to second for one, on to first, not in time. Brando LaRue's got great speed. That ball was just not hit hard enough to turn the double play.
Credit to the middle infield there, Gilbert and Geraldo. Gilbert gets that ball, a nice flip. It was a soft hit right up the middle, and Gilbert just tailing to his left, able to get it. You talk about Maple Leaf players getting their running in here at the ballpark. Former Maple Leaf player Franklin Hernandez, he used to do wind sprints up and down the hill. And that was a big talking point with us last year, because we'd be sitting here setting up, and he would just be hustling up and down the hill. And it's no joke. It is a tough hill to walk up, especially run.
So Angel Castro do that as well. That was here's the one right back to the mound. Watt to second, back to first, picked out double play. Liam Watt has been sensational tonight for the Guelph Royals. That time he turns his own double play. That is not easy to turn around on the mound, make a throw like that to second, and the infield takes over the rest. Toronto has a promising start to the inning. They get the leadoff runner on, and then the double play by Guelph snuffs that out. It's 5-0 Royals here as we head to the 6th. Ryan Dos Santos leading things off here for the Guelph Royals. They're leading 5-0. Kyle Pops back on the mound after he relieved Cam Demigian last inning.
It's got to be a fun at-bat here for the Royal squad, who, again, they're finally seeing a different arm. Demigian was giving them a little bit of fits.
And Dos Santos hits one in the air. This one is deep to center field and way out of here. Ryan Dos Santos with a little bit of skinny pop here at Christie Pitts. It's Guelph who leads 6-0.
Right center field, scales it over that metal monster out there, and You know, it's got to feel good for Dos Santos. Multiple years played here for the Maple Leafs, comes back, has a big game in game number 1, game 2 here. It's a home run.
And kind of found that power stroke a couple years ago with the Maple Leafs, and that's something that he has had in his arsenal here in the league. First pitch high there from Pops.
A couple weeks ago, I had a conversation with him out in Guelph. He was taking BP, and he hit a ball over the scoreboard. And I joked with him, and I said, I don't think you can do that again, and he did.
This one is also crushed by Gilbert, and that one's going to go. The Royals go back-to-back and lead 7-0 here in the 6th.
This is a Royals team that can score in bunches. This lineup just gets deeper and deeper, it feels, every single week. The addition of Gilbert has been sensational. And you see it there on the offensive side.
2 solo home runs, and the Royals starting to open things up here against the Leafs.
If you were looking at preseason rankings, you had this Royals team up there in the standings. The 0-5 start really uncharacteristic of what they were building, but I mean, as of late, the last 2 weeks, they've been playing sensational baseball. As I mentioned, winners of 4 out of 5.
Brian Sewell will come out to the mound to give Pops a breather. The silver lining for the Maple Leafs is that both were solo home runs, and worth mentioning, the Royals were a team that came back from down 7-1. Maple Leafs have that opportunity here, but Zach, that game they came back from down 7-1 in the 2nd inning was when that comeback started. So that pitch is there for a strike on Morrow. The 0-1 fouled off. Kyle Pops trying to reset here a little bit after giving up the 2 home runs. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Chopper on the ground, foul towards third base. Nice comeback here from Kyle Pops. I mean, you give up a couple of home runs, then you hit the strike zone 3 straight times in a good location. Sometimes you can see pitchers kind of, shy away from the middle of the plate, but you just can't do that when you're out there on the mound.
Again, against a tough guy in Morrow who's already 2 for 3 tonight.
The 0-2, check swing, and he went around. That's a strikeout for Kyle Pops. That pitch was in the dirt, so Matt Brandt just had to apply the tag.
Responds nicely after back-to-back solo shots to get a big bat in Connor Morrow to go down after the check swing called strike. But now it's an even tougher task as you have Takamatsu, Maskai, and Geraldo due up.
Yeah, that is a tough out to get in Morrow. Here's the 1-0 to Takamatsu. And it's swung on and missed. Here, Takamatsu crossed up as he swings at that pitch in the dirt.
The Guelph offense, they've been slowly building as the year has gone on. The batting average sitting as the worst in the league, but it's definitely gone up a couple points here tonight. The home run totals, they're now not in last place. They've moved ahead of Brantford as well as Welland.
Here's the 1-1 to Takamatsu, up and in. So we saw the home run by Ryan Dos Santos, and interesting to note that he is crushing right-handed pitching this season, hitting .500 against right-handers. That's the lefty Dos Santos. So he was very happy to see a lefty be replaced by a righty in Pops. It's been a much more comfortable matchup for him.
Which is really funny because, again, in the offseason, a lot of his plan was hitting against really good left-handed pitching because that was something that he wanted to improve on and get used to see that the right-handers just became so much easier.
Here's the 2-2. Just upstairs. Yeah, Ryan Dos Santos is hitting just above 100 against left-handed pitching this season. The 3-2. Up and away, and a pitch that goes to the backstop. That's ball 4. So Takamatsu will head down to first base with the walk.
It's been really interesting if you watch the team stats kind of over the last couple of weeks. Guelph, they were dead last in a lot of things, but again, this hot streak of winning 4 out of their last 5, it's seen them kind of continue to creep up to where a lot of people thought they would be.
Going to get another mound visit here. This time it's Rob Butler. He's going to take the ball from Kyle Pops. The Royals with back-to-back home runs. Pops comes back and gets an out, but at the end of the day, chase from this ball game, and I think we've got Frankie Golko coming to this game. We'll have more on that when we come back. Back here at Dominico Field, beautiful night for some baseball here at the pits, but the home team, the Maple Leafs, trailing 7-0. This is Frankie Golko on the mound now for the Maple Leafs. I'll try to get out of this inning for Toronto. And the first pitch from the Long Island, New York native is a swing and a miss, strike 1. Stands at 6'2", 24 years old.
He has the fun task of Victor Mascai and Miguel Geraldo back-to-back.
His 1 pitch is inside, 1-1. Cam Demidzian went 4 1/3, gave up 5 earned. Kyle Pops comes in, gives up a couple earned runs over his inning of work, and it's Golko trying to get the Maple Leafs out of the 6th. The 1-1 to Mascai. Swung on and missed. Good pitch there from Golko, and he's ahead in the count, 1-2. Frankie Golko has pitched 7 innings this season for the Maple Leafs, an ERA of 5.14 coming into this appearance. The 1-2. On the ground, Mandalay has it, got a funny hop, flips to second for 1, on to first, double play. What a job by Frankie Golko, and the dynamic duo up the middle gets it done for the Maple Leafs. Double play turned, inning over. 7-0 Guelph as we head to the bottom of the 6th here at the pits. Boy, Liam Watt has been sensational so far in this one for the Guelph Royals, has held the Maple Leafs to just 3 hits through 5 innings of work. So what can they do third time through the order? Spencer Ross coming to the plate. He's got a pretty good look at him today. Takes the first pitch just outside for a ball.
Third time through the order for the Royals on the other side. That was kind of where they started to see some of their damage get done. Maple Leafs trying to, scratch and claw a couple runs across here late in this ball game.
Here's the 1-1 pitch to Spencer Ross. Watt working quickly and misses outside. So Guelph knew they were getting a great pitcher, a great young pitcher in Liam Watt. They knew that 3 years ago when he played briefly for them, but he came in with a great resume playing Division I baseball as he misses just low there to Spencer Ross, playing for the Dallas Baptist Patriots. It was his second year university there, or college there in the U.S. Had an ERA just over 3, which is just excellent as a second-year player. Or what is it? Sophomore is second? Is that what they say?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe sophomore.
You played college, didn't? That's not the terminology they use?
Oh,
Here's a line drive by Spencer Ross. Third time through the order is the charm for the Maple Leafs leadoff hitter. That's a sharply hit base hit to lead off the 6th.
You're asking the guy that played 1 year at a junior college. All I know is freshman. That was the name I got called.
Right, you didn't make it somewhere.
I only got called freshman all the time.
Sorry about that, but you're doing much better now. You're in the booth, so
figured can't play, might as well talk. Thanks for the reminder.
sorry, buddy. I love calling games with you, though. Here's the 1-0 in there for a strike on Matt Fabian. Trying to buy himself a base hit here in this game.
You're not going to claw everything back in one inning, but if you want to try to get something going, you need to get it done here.
Fabian called for a swing. He did not like that. Really wanted him to check down to first base. So now he's just going to take a deep breath and reset here at the plate. He's behind 1-2 just like that.
Again, offense has been tough for the Maple Leafs to come by this season. They're trying to get something going. It looked really good against the London Majors.
And he skies this one. It's hit pretty well to left, but it's Dos Santos who makes the catch just in front of the wall. Boy, that one needed about 7 more feet to make it over the wall there for Matt Fabian. Dos Santos only had to go back a few steps as he was playing deep. Well, Yasiel Puig can absolutely hit one over the wall. 3 bombs this year, all at Christie Pitts. 2 of them came on opening night against the Kitchener Panthers, one of the 2 wins that the Leafs have this season. Check on Ross at first. That was a nifty little pickoff move from Watt. Yasiel Puig just missed one in his last at-bat. Flew it to center field, but it was a mile high. Now takes it in the dirt. Talked to Rob Butler last week about Yasiel Puig. He's been impressed with the way he's handled things to start this year. Had a brief slump about a week ago, but has kind of broken out of that of late. The 1-0 pitch fouled off by Puig. Rob said the biggest thing that Puig has had to adjust to is the difference in the way the strike zone is called. Yasiel has been very frustrated and struck out looking a couple of times this season. And as he adapts to that, he's starting to swing more. I mean, you don't have to tell Yasiel Puig to swing the bat. That's what he wants to do here in the Canadian Baseball League. Here's the 1-1. Puig might have broken his bat, hits one softly on the ground. Throw to first, just in time. Yasiel Puig was on his horse down the line and is thrown out by half a step. Does move the runner up with 2 outs in the inning. Dennis DeBanning has one of the 4 hits that the Maple Leafs have It was a sharply hit single the other way. Now we're going to get a visit on the mound as catcher Matthew Ward comes out to chat with Liam Watt. Matthew Ward has done a really good job handling the pitching staff this season. Catches a lot for this Guelph Royals team. Assistant General Manager Ryan Eakins said earlier on in the season he thinks that they've got the best catcher in the Canadian Baseball League this year in Matthew Ward. 2 outs in the inning. Demanding at the dish. Swings at the first pitch. Hits it in the air. This is a fly ball towards the corner, and the catch is made out there in right field, so that will end the inning. DeBanning gets under it. He was trying to take that ball the other way like he did a couple at-bats ago, but the Maple Leafs still held scoreless by Liam Watt. And the Guelph Royals, it's 7-0 for the roadside here at the pits. Frankie Golko back on the mound for the Maple Leafs, who are starting to run out of outs on the offensive side of things, but Golko will do his best to hold down the Royals here in the 7th inning. Made a great pitch to turn a double play and get the Maple Leafs out of the 6th inning, one that was a little bit extended for that Royals team. But Golko able to induce the double play, get out of the inning. He'll face Miguel Giraldo to lead things off. Big swing at the first pitch and fouls it off.
Giraldo so far on the night, 1 for 2, single, and he had the sac fly RBI his last time up. Again, the Royals are in the early stages were executing to perfection when it came to cashing in a runner from third base with less than 2 outs.
The 0-1. Giraldo dishes one into the outfield. That's a base hit down the line. Giraldo digging for 2. This is Yasiel Puig. His throw in, and he's safe. Puig with a throw that was right on the money, but Giraldo able to get in there just under the tag.
Yeah, it looked like for a second that LaRue possibly was able to get the glove onto the shoulder or the head of Giraldo, but he avoids the tag perfectly. And it's a beautiful leadoff double there for the Royals.
Great.
Any basketball fans watching NBA Finals? Ooh, the Spurs are winning. Interesting.
Where are we at in that series? Wemby won last game, right? Right. And it's a big deal if the Knicks win? Yep. Yeah. First pitch strike there to Williams. Runner in scoring position, Geraldo. It's always interesting to test the range of Yasiel Puig, and he threw that ball from as far in the corner as you can to second base. So gives you the sense that at Christie Pitts, the range would be beyond the fence. He can throw guys out from anywhere. That throw was on a line from the foul pole. Williams fouled that one off. That was pretty close down the line. Now it's 0-2. Gold Coast pitch just up and in.
Last two at-bats have been a really good bounce back for Williams. Walked and he had an RBI single.
Yeah, last at-bat raised the batting average by 70 points. That'll do. The 1-2 pitch slashed foul again. He was extremely late, found the barrel late, and fouled it into the bullpen and nearly drilled the pitcher that was warming up for the Royals down there in the pen.
That's Brandon Deans over there.
Right. He pitched last game for the Guelph Royals.
He's become a big factor in the bullpen, especially late game for this Royal squad.
Here's the 1-2. It was an interesting coincidence, or well, whatever you want to call it. Last game for the Guelph Royals. They had their star pitcher in Garcia on the mound, but they only had 2 guys in the bullpen last time they were here at Christie Pitts, so they needed Garcia to go 7 innings. Here's the 2-2 to J.D. Williams, upstairs 3-2. And he did, but he gave up 7 runs, had a 7-run inning against the Maple Leafs. They torched him in the second, and as you know, Guelph's able to come back because he just forgot about it, settled in, ended up going his 7 innings. The bullpen, which was very slim, covered the rest. The 3-2. This one's fouled off again. But when the Maple Leafs ended up going up 7-1 in that game, you thought, well, there's no way that he's going to be able to go more than 4 or 5 innings. And if that was the case, I mean, Brandon Deans would have had to cover a huge chunk in that outing.
There were question marks if last game that the Royals were here, if Deans was going to be able to pitch. And I think having him, and then obviously they went to Escorcia late in that game.
Yeah, he closed things out, but he was the last man. It would have been a position player. I was told that Ryan Dos Santos was actually in play to come into the game out of the bullpen. He was the DH specifically for the purpose that he was going to come into the game if needed. And the Guelph Royals, they didn't end up needing him. They won the ball game. They got 14 runs from their offense, so everything just worked out perfectly.
I jokingly asked him, I said, are you fully becoming a two-way player this season? And he goes, no, but kind of.
Yeah.
and I was like, that doesn't really answer the question for me, but.
Well, the one thing he does have going for him on the mound that we know is that he throws really hard, so that's the first step.
Throws hard. He has a pretty decent changeup. He says that's his go-to.
A pitch inside to Ward. Golko's got a couple runners on. He walked the last batter in J.D. Williams, which wasn't the worst thing in the world. First base was open, so now the double play is in order if he can get Ward to hit a ground ball here. The 1-2. This one's popped up, not deep. It's the shortstop, Brando LaRue, going way into the outfield. Boy, Marcus Connect did not see that baseball. That was going to be LaRue all the way. And the Maple Leaf shortstop had to range way into the outfield to make that catch, one away.
Yeah, give credit to LaRue there. He saw it the whole way through, Connect. Again, it's that time of night where it gets a little bit like a twilight kind of sky where if it goes up, it's sometimes hard to see if you don't see it right off the bat. And credit to LaRue. He saw it right away.
It's possible that Marcus Connect was just kind of giving way to LaRue, who was calling it. Obviously, Marcus Connect would have priority over that ball as the guy that's running in, but if you just looked at the direction he was running it, it looked like he did not see where the ball went. We're kind of into that twilight sky here at the pits. This is Andy Leader now at the dish for the Royals. He's come in as a pinch hitter. And Leader hits a chopper to second. This will be a double play, or safe at first base, I should say. Close play at first. Leader was hustling down the line. There's 2 outs now in the inning.
I believe there's a bunch of substitutions here. So Davis Nadal out of the game, like you mentioned, for Andy Leader. Dos Santos is out of the game now for Ashton Patterson.
So here's the first pitch that Patterson sees this game. Comes from Frankie Golko. First, he's going to check on Leader over there, who has great speed at first base. We've seen once before when the Royals had runners on the corners, the guy at first takes off to try and get some action going on the infield. 2 outs in the inning, though. You probably want to see if Patterson can chop one into the outfield and get another run on the board.
Kind of looks like Leader was taking a walking lead. He was just stutter stepping the way down, trying to time up Golko.
The 0-1. Patterson started last game against the Barrie Baycats, had a hit in 3 at-bats. On the season, he's hitting just over .230. As Rolando Hermida warming up on the bullpen for the Maple Leafs. Here's the 1-1. Just missed. Here's the 2-1 now. Line drive into the outfield over the outstretched glove of Brando LaRue. That'll cash in another run, and it's 8-0 Royals. Another good piece of hitting from Ashton Patterson. The batting average just over .230, but he's been picking it up of late at the plate. If you look back at his last couple of games, he's had 4 consecutive games where, actually every game except the first game of the season, where he's either scored a run or got a hit. So he's sometimes come off the bench, sometimes started games, but always found a way to be productive this season for Guelph.
Yeah, like you mentioned, very productive for Guelph. It doesn't matter what role he's in. He's tried to do everything he can for his squad, and he's been very successful at it this season.
Anthony Gilbert guessed wrong on that breaking ball and swung over the top of it. He was trying to do some damage if he got a fastball there from Golko. Here's the 0-1. A strike on the corner. Anthony Gilbert's had a heck of a day at the plate. He's 3 for 4. He's scored all 3 times that he's been on base and homered as well. That home run was his first in his Canadian Baseball League and Guelph Royal career.
It was a good swing as well. He's poked 2 the opposite way, and then off of pops, he was able to just sit back on the fastball, and he just ripped it to left center field.
Was signed 5 days ago. He's already playing his 3rd game here for the Royals. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fouled off again. Had just 2 hits in his first 9 at-bats. So this has been his welcome to the show game here for the Royals.
He's quickly taken a grasp of the starting shortstop role. That's kind of where he's been placed every single game, and he's been holding it down really, really well.
Behind 0-2, Golko trying to get out of this 7th. This one's hit on the ground. Dive by Jordan Mandalay. It's past the outstretched glove. They're going to send the runner Andy Leader home. He'll come in to score. He had stopped at third base, and he comes in to score anyway, so it's 9-0 Guelph Royals. That's an RBI single for Anthony Gilbert. He's got 2 RBIs and 4 hits tonight. And it looks like that is going to be it for Frankie Golko. 2 runs come in for the Royals in this inning. He'll give way to Rolando Hermida when we come back. New pitcher into the game for the Maple Leafs, Rolando Hermida, one of the imports on this Toronto squad. He'll face Connor Morrow to lead things off, and that pitch is inside. Hermida has pitched 2 2/3 innings so far for the Maple Leafs this season, has given up 4 earned runs and struck out 3 batters. First pitch misses to Morrow. Here's the 1-0. And it's hit foul. Well struck ball, but it's going to hook onto the hillside down the right field line.
Connor Morrow 2 for 4 on the night. He scored back in the 5th inning where they saw the Royals cash in 3. Last time up, it was Pops that got him to check swing on a low breaking ball.
Connor Morrow sees his batting average sit at .583 now on the season. He only has 2 hits and 4 at-bats today, so that average has actually dropped a little bit today.
Yeah, I know. Disappointing stuff. Came in batting .625.
Yeah, he'll need a hit in this at-bat to,
no, I'm just kidding.
to improve that average.
He's had a great start to his season.
Mm-hmm. Very short season as well.
Very
Small
short,
sample
yeah.
size. He was signed after opening day. And Hermida just misses. He wanted a strike call there on that pitch. Rolando Hermida in one of those import spots will need to be a valuable piece for this Maple Leafs team this season. Tries to get out of this sticky situation. Here's a ball ripped down the line. A run is going to come in to score. This one rolls all the way into the corner. Marcus Connect was played way over towards right field, so he'll get this ball back in. And he does so pretty quickly. That's going to at least hold a runner at third base. Another comes in to score for the Royals, and it's 10-0. And another dangerous batter in Garrett Takamatsu awaits.
Connor Morrow, again, he's just been so good in his limited sample size with the Royals to start the season. When he's in the lineup, I know Assistant General Manager Ryan Eakins, he loves when Morrow is playing. He's just a guy that adds so much.
So here's Tak. Takes low ball 1. Garrett Takamatsu's 1 for 2, walked twice. One of them was intentional by the Leafs. The 1-0 from Hermida. In the dirt that time with a breaking ball. Everybody except Matt Ward from the starting lineup has a hit today. But Ward has been productive. He got a sacrifice fly earlier in the game. This has been, if you're on the Royals side, this has been a day where you know, there's some hitters that you want to see going. They're starting to get going. 3-0 now on Takamatsu, and he is swinging. Puts a charge into this baseball. Yasiel Puig over, and he is going to run that one down in the corner. Nice play by Yasiel Puig. Just in front of foul territory. Saves a couple of runs for the Maple Leafs, but they trail big time here at the pits. It's 10-0 Guelph. We'll be right back. Well, the book on Liam Watt is closed. Brandon Deans into the game for the Guelph Royals as he sees the mound here again against the Maple Leafs at Christie Pitts. He'll face Marcus Connect to lead things off in the inning. First pitch Connect is in there for a strike.
Again, Deans has been a go-to staple for the Royals in their bullpen. A really good playoff run last year for Guelph, trying to bring that success over to the regular season this year.
0-2 here on Marcus Connect. You wanted to point out what was different between Marcus Connect and his first and second at-bat.
What does it say up there, Mr. West?
Oh, okay.
Changed up the pants.
The
Went from high socks to just pants.
Well, he strikes out here in this at-bat. That's okay. That was not the easiest thing to notice.
I'm surprised you didn't notice that.
Why?
Just looked different. He went from blue at the bottom of his uniform to just all white.
So that's a compliment. You think I'm very observant.
Exactly.
Okay.
I think you have the best eyes from the top of the hill, partner.
Now that I got the new prescription, it's been a lot better.
That's what I'm saying.
Not in that case, though. Here's the 0-1 to Dutton. Outside, 1-1 now. J.J. Dutton will be followed by Jordan Mandalay. The 1-1, Dutton swings and misses at that pitch in the dirt. Brandon Deans comes into this outing with an ERA just over 2. Now that he's got that first out, it's ducked below 2. He's been excellent in his 4 1/3 innings of work for the Royals. He's just given up the 1 run. Walked 2, struck out 4. And he has a whip under 1 as well, which is an impressive stat in the Canadian Baseball League.
The 1 earned run comes in the first game against Welland, as well as those 2 walks. Ever since, he's pitched in 2 1/3 innings, 3 strikeouts.
He's a good pitcher. He's been a good pitcher in this league for a long time. Has a career ERA of 3.95, and has been a steady force in this Royals pitching staff. As Dutton just gets a piece of that one, fouling off that high pitch from Brandon Deans.
Well, again, like I mentioned, last year in the playoffs, he had 3 games appeared in 6 innings total, only gave up 5 hits and 7 strikeouts, didn't allow a run. The whip was at 1.17 in the 2025 playoffs.
Dutton battling here against Deans. The 2-2 in the dirt. Dutton will take it, and the count runs full.
Again, a guy that pitched down in the NCAA and then came back, pitched in the OCAA, just dominant records there.
So if you're just tuning in, the scoreboard reads 10-0 Guelph Royals. How did we get here? Well, the 3-run 5th inning was a big factor, and they've got multiple runs in each of the last 3 innings. 3 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, 3 in the 7th, and now have put up 15 hits and 10 runs here against the Maple Leafs. As Dutton will take high, ball 4, something that Liam Watt did not do much of at all in his start. Only allowed 4 hits to the Maple Leafs through 6 innings of work, and it was just a sparkling debut for a pitcher that the Royals expected a lot out of this season. And what a good start for them. Liam Watt with a sensational start today.
This is exactly why they signed him and put him in this position here. It's just truly tremendous stuff. Shows why he was so dominant in his senior season.
Not a lot of strikeouts for Watt, but he just induced so much weak contact. He might have even broke the bat of Yasiel Puig in one of the times that he faced them.
You mentioned that he's a guy that was probably going to be getting looked at for the upcoming draft and whatnot, and like you said, scouts will be looking at every single appearance that he has and stuff like that, seeing him how he can handle certain players, certain situations, and they will go and see his at bats or his pitches against Puig. It says a lot.
Count now 2-1 on Jordan Mandalay, who had one of those hits against Watt. 2-1 pitch. This one is hit in the air, and this is going to be playable out there and right, as catch is made by Andy Leader, who came into the game as a pinch hitter for Nadal. Ashton Patterson also took over for Ryan Dos Santos, so he takes over defensively and left. And J.D. Williams is still in center. Now it's Brando LaRue with 2 outs in the inning. You'd love to see a hit from Brando LaRue today. Had the home run last game against London, 0 for 2 today. The 1-0 pitch upstairs.
He did reach last time. It was via fielder's choice, but, you know, you're in the mind of LaRue. He probably wants that back, wishes he could have got that ball through.
So many people around the Canadian Baseball League that I've talked to have just been so impressed with the way Brando plays the game. So he takes a strike, a breaking ball from Deans on the outside corner, 2-1. And you thought that, I never thought that Yoron Mandalay would end up not being the starting shortstop for the Maple Leafs, but if there was one guy that could take over at shortstop for Mandalay defensively, it would be Brando LaRue.
Yeah, it's just a fun tandem up the middle. 2 guys that can be very sure-footed with that glove.
I don't know if you're going to get much better duo up the middle than Mandalay and Brando LaRue. Those are 2 of the better defenders in the league. Swings and misses at that pitch. Brandon Dean's got him, and that will end the inning. 10-0 Guelph. Maple Leafs down to their final 6 outs. Guelph will try and tack on here as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Orlando Hermida back on the mound for the Maple Leafs. Zach, some defensive changes for the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, Kirk Gibson comes in to play first base. That shifts Fabian over there to third. Also, now in left field, it's number 16, Ben Starrett. So a couple of defensive substitutions for the Leafs.
This guy takes a strike on the inside corner. And then Hermida, another perfect pitch on the outside corner that time, and Maskai is behind in the count 1-2. Victor Maskai hitting .250 on the season, 1 for 3 in this game today. You see imports from all over the world. A lot of them come from the Dominican Republic. You see some players come over from Japan. Not a lot you see from Brazil. That's where Victor Maskai is from, as he swings and misses strike 3. Rolando Hermida gets the punch out.
Yeah, it's a fun signing. I know a lot of people in Guelph are excited to have Maskai and, excited to get him some more action to see what he has. But, again, early on we've seen a lot of power in the bat, but he has a little bit of that swing and miss, but that'll get sorted out as he gets more at-bats under his belt.
That one's fouled off at the plate by Miguel Giraldo, the second baseman. It's interesting when you're a Guelph Royals team that doesn't get off to a good start. Now they're winning, so this point is, a little bit more mute. But when you get off to a good start and, you have such high aspirations at the beginning of the season, we've already seen like some turnover in this Royals lineup. It just puts so much pressure to play well for all of these players, especially imports. The 1-1. Now, when you're winning games and you're in a game tonight where the offenses just look sensational and it's a 10-0 ball game, makes everyone in the lineup just feel a little bit better, feel like their position's a lot more solidified on the team. The 1-2, this one's hit on the ground. Mandalay has it, has lots of time, takes all of it, flips to first to the new first baseman, Kirk Gibson. 2 away. Good start to the inning for Hermida.
Hermida's looked very strong for the first 2 batters, but going to your point just about, the turnover and everything with this, the Royals, it was interesting just talking to a couple of the players out there in Guelph, just the mindsets, they started 0-5, but nobody was really ever worried. They knew that it would eventually click. It was just one of those things of, when is it all going to click? And it finally happened after a big win against London. They were able to roll down to a 3-game win streak. They dropped one again to London, but they answered back nicely with the victory against Barrie, who again has been one of the better teams in the league.
Maple Leafs are hoping they can turn things around in a similar fashion this year. 0-2. There hasn't been a lot of worry in the Maple Leafs locker room, but if you look back before the game against London, boy, there's definitely been some frustration. Like, losing baseball games is just not fun. Here's the 1-2 to Williams, low and away. But then they got that win, and the difference between the Maple Leafs locker room after a loss and a win is just such a stark difference. We interviewed Brian Sewell after the game, and he came out and he had confetti and glitter all over his hat because there was celebration in the Maple Leafs locker room. Here's the 3-1 pitch. This one's a chopper that takes a big bounce off the mound past the back foot of Hermida. It's going to skip into the outfield for a base hit for J.D. Williams, a guy that the Royals love to see getting on base.
Again, somebody that's been trying to turn his season around. He does just that, and he's doing it here today. It's the 3rd time he's reached base, his 4th time he's reached base. He's walked twice and has 2 singles.
See if maybe this game is what propels Williams to a successful rest of the season. Oh, here's a familiar face to the Maple Leafs. This is Luca Boscarino, who was one of the catchers on the Leafs last season. Boscarino was acquired via trade as this one goes to the backstop. J.D. Williams is going to move up to second base with 2 outs in the inning. Luca Boscarino, the big moment that he had last year for the Maple Leafs was in a game where he's good buddies with Max Domi, who's a member of the Toronto Maple Leafs hockey team. So Max came out to watch him play, came midway through the game. Luca Boscarino, in his first at-bat with his buddy Domi watching, hit one out of the park. It was a home, Boscarino does not hit a lot of home runs, but Max Domi showed up, hit the home run, and it was just a great Instagram story. Domi was down the line. He was filming when he got the at-bat, and then Boscarino came over, and he was on his Instagram story, and it was a lot of fun that night, and just such a fun moment for Boscarino at the pits.
Yeah, just really awesome to see him have a moment like that, and again, he's gone over to Guelph, hasn't got a lot of playing time, but that really hasn't stopped him. He's been a very good team guy there in Guelph. I've seen him catch a bunch of bullpens as well.
3-0 the count now on Luca Boscarino. That one's a strike. If you're Boscarino in this situation, I mean, you want to try and earn yourself some playing time on this Royals team. Good chance for him to swing the bat here. 3-1 against Hermida. And it's swung on and missed. Boscarino was not looking to walk on that pitch, was hoping to get a fastball, and there was a pitch down and in, and now it's 3-2.
Yeah, it was, like you said, was sitting fastball, got the off speed instead. But how about the pitch from Hermida just to go to the off speed?
Full count. Foul tipped at home plate. Boscarino just got a piece of it. Now he's in a battle here with Hermida, and that one clipped Matt Brandt. Now, Brandt's in a bit of discomfort here. I'm wondering if that ball might have hit him in a sensitive area as he tries to walk it off. But, you know, it's worth the conversation about the Maple Leafs catching depth this season, which is about as shallow as it gets. Like, it's Matt Brandt, and that's it, actually. It's just Matt Brandt. Yeah, maybe Kyle Pops, I think, was in play to be a catcher as well for the Maple Leafs, but Brandt has just been so good just holding down the fort for the Maple Leafs this season.
Don't forget the most important one, Brian Sewell.
Right, Brian Sewell as well, but he'd need to be signed. Here's the 3-2. Inside ball 4. 3-0 count. Boscarino takes some strikes, fouls a pitch off, ends up working the walk in the end. 2 on base now for the Royals here in the 8th. Andy Leader's going to get another at-bat here.
So with the way things are going here in this one, the Royals will most likely advance to 5-6 on the year, and that will actually put them in a tie for 5th place.
Fifth place, you said?
Yeah, they would go into a tie with the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers at 5-6. I believe the Barnstormers would still hold the edge from the head-to-head matchup so far this year.
Right, but right now we could just look at win percentage.
Yep. But it would be they'd be tied exactly, and then they'd be closing in on Hamilton, who are 6-4.
Yeah, now that's great for the Royals early on in the season, but based on where they thought they would be at the beginning of the year, they want to be 1, 2, 3 if they can get up there. That's the goal. Now, when you lose a bunch of games at the beginning of the year, it's just tough because the Jackfish and the Baycats and the Majors, the only teams that they're going to lose much to are each other. So
well, yeah, Barrie 8-3, London 8-4, Welland 7-4. Just tremendous starts to the season for those top 3 teams.
Andy Leader gets into this one. This one's deep to center field. Back goes Dennis DeBanning. He makes the catch on the run just in front of the warning track, and that will end the inning. A scoreless frame for Rolando Hermida here in the 8th. Maple Leafs coming up. They've got 6 outs to play with here at the pits. Well, back here at Dominico Field, It's a big lead for the Spurs over the Knicks. Victor Wembanyama has 14 points so far in the basketball game. It's also a big lead for the Guelph Royals here over the Toronto Maple Leafs on their home soil.
Hey, put some respect on Vassal's name. He has 15. He's 4 from 4 from beyond the arc.
Well, I didn't look up that stat before the break, so I'll just take your word for it. 71-46 though, like that's a...
Was it 41 points in the first quarter?
Wow, really? In the first quarter of this game, Guelph had 2 runs.
Nice.
Thanks. Here's the 0-2 to Matt Brandt. Remember, he got hit with a foul ball, kind of took some time to walk it off, and of course he's going to come up and take an at-bat right after that happens the next inning. There's the 1-2. So we think that Kyle Pops is the backup catcher for the Toronto Maple Leafs, but he can't catch because the Ohtani rule doesn't exist in the league, and he already came in to pitch in this game. So Brian Sewell might have to put pen to paper and do a quick signing. I know you can't do that, but
imagine.
Here's the 3-2. Swung on and foul tipped into the glove of Matt Ward, who holds on, and that's a strikeout for Brandon Deans. There's also a little bit more of a process to sign players in the Canadian Baseball League. You know, in past years when it was considered a semi-pro league, it was, you know, you could sign guys an hour before the game. Okay. That's...
I was periodically looking over at Gus Cousins, who is the wonderful man behind our graphics.
It's crazy how he's able to like keep up with so many different games.
My favorite part is though is he will go silent for 5 minutes, and I can just hear the typing going, and I'm always curious what he's doing. That was a pretty good one.
Here's the 0-2. Strike 3 called. Gibson in his first at bat goes down looking. Matt Fabian will come to the dish. 4 outs remaining here for the Maple Leafs. Brandon Dean's just eating up innings here for the Guelph Royals. That's what they wanted him to do. Just be efficient. Make sure Guelph doesn't have to use any more pitchers.
He just continues to kind of prove dominance in this bullpen role. He found success in the postseason, and he's really just carried it over here into the regular season. The Jackfish are the only team that have really touched him up for any runs.
Here's the 1-1 upstairs. Efficiency in the bullpen is not really too important for the Royals. They don't play again until Saturday. They'll take on Kitchener. It'll be a home game. Here's the 2-1. You can catch Zach Benoit on the call out there in Guelph. Two and one on Fabian. Guy that the Maple Leafs want to get going at the plate. And Fabian with a good take there. That pitch was just high. Maple Leafs have a relatively quick turnaround. They've got tomorrow off, then they play Kitchener on Friday. That'll be a game out at Jack Couch Park. And that's the thing. I mean, you know, you lose this game here to Guelph. You always want to win ball games, but it's a little bit softer part of the Maple Leaf schedule coming up, if that exists this year. Here's the 3-2. On the ground, foul towards third. I mean, if you're the Maple Leafs, that's really the only way to look at it, because you got to win these next 2 games after a loss here today.
And again, it's not necessarily like it's, you know, fire burning everywhere for the Leafs. Of course, it's been a tough start of the season, but like you mentioned, the next couple games they have looking very strong for them.
So is Brandon Deans. Gets the punch out. Fabian swings at the pitch upstairs. Deans is just mowing down Maple Leafs hitters right now. They only have 3 outs remaining. Guelph coming up here in the bottom of the 8th. Or in the 9th, I should say. Man, it's still kind of hot and muggy here at the pits. You can see the flags out there in center field. Dead calm, very humid, clear night. We were a little bit worried that there was going to be some thunderstorms on the horizon. Still may come tomorrow, but luckily the Maple Leafs don't have a game tomorrow here at Christie Pits, so we're happy to be dry and still very warm here late at night at the pits. You know, Zach, we were just talking about the schedule for the Toronto Maple Leafs as we see Ashton Patterson getting his second bat here against Hermida. And he takes inside for a ball 2-0. In Kitchener and Brantford are the next two games. And, you know, I feel like maybe saying that a soft part of the schedule early on maybe is not the right way to put it, but it's definitely a difficult part of the schedule coming up after that, as now it's 3-0 on Patterson. Because you've got Kitchener, Brantford, then, listen to this, the Maple Leafs will take on the Jackfish, the Baycats twice, the Royals, the Jackfish, and the Majors. Like, those are just the top three teams right now. And then if you look at Guelph, I mean, they might be up there by the time the Maple Leafs play them again because they've just been rolling. So that's a tough stretch of your schedule, and you got to win some games coming into that stretch because you're not going to win all the games against those top teams. And this one ends up hitting Ashton Patterson. Would have been ball 4 anyway. He'll jog down to first base, no worse for wear. And the first runner is on base here in the 9th.
You mentioned that stretch of games, and the only real positive from it is the Maple Leafs have beaten the London Majors this year. They played very well. Yes, it was here at home, so it would be a different story, them going to the Bat Park. But, yeah, the next two games, Kitchener, they were red hot to start the year, and then they've kind of cooled off lately. Brantford, it's kind of in the same boat as the Maple Leafs, right? I mean, these two teams kind of in a similar situation, trying to change how the season has started for them. But, yeah, Welland has been so good. Barrie, again, they've been terrific. Guelph feels like they're on the uprise right now with all the offense that's been coming through for them.
It's worth noting a bunch of those games are on the road, too. Got to play in Welland, in Barrie, and then they're going to play here's the crazy thing. Welland and the two games against Barrie are in 3 consecutive days, too, for the Maple Leafs. Like, that is tough. That's a tough part of your schedule.
Good old Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, and
and then Saturday.
And it starts off with a road trip to Welland, too. It's a little ways to get down to St. Catharines.
So fun.
1-2 on Anthony Gilbert, who's homered in this game, and now swings and misses. Hermida got him swinging. 1 away. Orlando Hermida kind of settled into his outing after giving up a couple hits early on. Trying to become one of those trusted arms down in the bullpen for Toronto. First pitch strike here on Connor Morrow. Now the 0-1 pitch. Up and in and over the back of Morrow, who ducks out of the way of that breaking ball. Another breaking ball. Brant hesitated like he wanted it to be a strike, but called a ball. Hermida resets, goes back to the rosin bag. The 2-1. Inside it hit him. That one hit Connor Morrow. I think it was a breaking ball from Hermida. So 2-on via hit by pitch here for the Royals in the 9th.
Hermida looks like he's lost a little bit of that control. Again, it's, like you mentioned, a guy that they want to try to get trusted more in that bullpen, but he relies heavily on that off speed, and when that's just not in his hand, again, it's a humid night. You can kind of see it, the sweat glistening off of his arms. It's a hot night here.
Good mound visit here from Brian Sewell. I mean, you throw a lot of pitches in an inning. Sometimes it's not necessarily the amount of pitches that you throw over an outing when they kind of pile up in that one inning. It's just you start feeling like you're a step behind, so Sewell comes out, slows things down. you know, becomes a little bit about individual stats too. Like Hermita's given up some runs in each of his outings. If he can get, you know, through consecutive scoreless outings, that would be something that, you know, means to him something to him statistically. Especially if you can do it against Garrett Takamatsu here in the Guelph Royals. Tough part of the order.
You mentioned, I mean, Tak has been hitting everything, and when he's not hitting, he's being intentionally walked.
Right. The 0-1 to Tak. Fouled off again. Hermita trying to get an important out here on Takamatsu. And this one's hit in the air, struck pretty well back at the wall, and that one's going to be hauled in just in front of the warning track. That's got to figure out who's out in right now for the Maple Leafs. I think that might be Ben Serrett. Or that's Ben Sidoreno, sorry. Out in right, Serrett is in left.
Yeah, Puig lifted from the game.
Sidoreno's also a guy. Maple Leafs have two-way players on the team this year. Kyle Pops, who we saw on the mound. Serrett has also pitched pretty much as he's hit this year for the Maple Leafs. Ben Serrett had an outing in that game against the Hamilton Cardinals where the Maple Leafs just were kind of short pitchers. They really needed someone to come in, and he ended up throwing 72 pitches in relief in a game against Hamilton. Ben Sidorenios. Here's the 2-0 upstairs. Hermita just needs to get Maskai here to get through a scoreless ninth. And that one's in there for a strike on the 3-0 pitch on the inside corner.
Does look like this is going to be Hermita's game. Nobody really warming up over there.
3-1, chopped on the ground to first. Fair ball. Gobbled up by Kirk Gibson, and that will end the inning. 2 consecutive scoreless innings from Rolando Hermita. To the bottom of the ninth we go here. The Maple Leafs need a boatload. Ben Sidorenios, who came in as a replacement defensively for Yasiel Puig, will step in here for an at-bat in the bottom of the 9th inning.
What a walk-up song.
What's the song called again?
Zombie.
Zombie, right, by the Cranberries.
I don't know who sings
Cranberries.
that. It's called Zombie.
Yeah, Cranberries. Got some thumbs up.
Everybody around us.
It's a good tune. Here's the 1-0 to Ben Sidorenios, and he swings through it, and the count's now 1-1. I think that's a great walk-up song. Like, if I had to pick a walk-up song, that might be.
Well, before, it was Ernie Clements for a couple games.
Was it?
Yeah.
Wonder if that's where he got the idea.
Thanks, Gus.
Sidorenios on the line drive into the outfield. And he's got himself a base hit. Not easy to come off the bench in a game like this and smash one into the outfield against a good pitcher who we should mention is into the game. This is Escoria, who pitched last time against the Maple Leafs, one of the big relief arms down there in the pen for the Royals.
Yeah, the Royals just want to get him some more work. Again, the ERA kind of inflated for Escoria, but he looks like he's going to continue just to work and be a potent arm in that bullpen.
So Sidorenios picks up the 5th hit of the night for the Maple Leafs. 0-1 on Dennis DeBanning. He takes a strike at the top of the zone. Ben Starrett is on deck for the Maple Leafs. He'll get an at-bat here in the 9th as well. Dennis DeBanning was guessing on that pitch. Swings over the top. That's a strikeout for Escoria, 1 away.
That's what Escoria does. It's that wicked off speed that he has. It's lethal to lefties, but you know, to righties, it's just tough because it just dives inside right on the hands.
First pitch here to Ben Starrett. Swings over the top, strike one.
Well, the Maple Leafs faithful still having hope. Somebody just yelled out rally caps.
Probably the Bushman.
Most
if
likely.
I had to guess. Here's the 0-1. Chopper at the plate. Bushman, a group of dedicated fans who have devoted their fandom to the left field line down the bushes at Christie Pits. They are a staple of the pits if you ever come down. As there's a swing and a miss from Starrett. Escoria gets him, and there's 2 away.
Again, it's that off-speed pitch. Lethal to lefties.
J.J. Dutton, the last bit of hope here for the Maple Leafs with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. Dutton takes inside. Mandalay on deck if he can find his way on base. Dutton takes a strike on a breaking ball right at the hollow of the knee. Here's the 1-1. Dutton on the ground, foul towards the first base line. Luca Boscarino doing the catching now. Came in a couple innings ago for Matt Ward. One and 2. Leafs down to their last strike. Escoria's delivery, and it's in the dirt. Dutton takes it for a ball. Sidorenios will hold his ground at first base.
I believe this is the first time Ward hasn't been behind the plate this season. I could be mistaken, but I believe the only other time that Boscarino actually did make an appearance in a game, it wasn't Ward there.
The 2-2, and that one hits J.J. Dutton, caught him on the ankle, so he's going to head down to first base. And Jordan Mandalay will get an at-bat here. Maple Leafs trying to tack on a run here against the Royals. Mandalay swinging at the first pitch. See Mandalay take that first pitch a lot, but
Or fake bunted a lot.
right, yeah, or it's show bunt. This time knowing the situation. Trying to see if he can't pick out a pitch that he likes and dish it into the outfield for a hit. Counts 0-1. Brando LaRue, the shortstop, on deck. And this one's hit down the line, foul. Past third base, and that one broke the bat of Jordan Mandalay. He's going to get a much different looking bat from the dugout.
Goes with the all-natural, not the two-toned.
Yep. Have to imagine that a guy like Jordan Mandalay has acquired bats from all over the world.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah. Reaches out and pokes one foul. It's the kind of pitch that you could break a bat on again, but didn't quite get enough of it. Scorsia trying to close the door here on the Maple Leafs. The 0-2 to Jordan Mandalay. And Mandalay hits this one pretty well. This one's towards the gap, and the catch is made. I think it's Andy Leader who ended up coming up with that one, and that will end the ball game. The Guelph Royals win this one 10-0 in a game, Zach, where they got, I guess, the pitching performance, right? That would probably be the big highlight for the Guelph Royals in this one.
Yeah, Liam Watt was tremendous. Did not allow a run, barely allowed hits. I believe it was 3 that he allowed throughout his entirety, maybe 4, like you said. But fantastic game through and through for the Royals. The Maple Leafs, again, they're kind of just searching for that offense. It just hasn't been able to come through. The pitching, you know, they got a great start. They just couldn't hold on with the bullpen, and that was kind of the big mainstay in the early parts of the season. They look to try to change things now as they head out to an easier part of their schedule.
Yeah, look at a guy like Cam Dibijan, and you know he put together a start today, which is certainly something you can build off of. Did not look bad at all for the Maple Leafs in his first game in the Canadian Baseball League. Toronto just didn't get a whole lot of offense. They only mustered 5 hits. The Guelph Royals had 16, won the game 10-0. As we say goodnight here from Christy Pitts, for myself, Thomas West, as well as Zach Benoit. Have a great rest of your evening.